It could be a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare.
Yes,
Either
B.
way, I don't want to wake up. Welcome to the Real Drunk Show. We are here. Tonight's show is called When Dreams Turn into Nightmares. Let's introduce our panel. Who wants to go first? Jennifer, you go first.
Of course. I am Cinda's mommy, and I am from. I should be in Dubai right now, but I'm in Chicago, mad as shit, and I am drinking homemade cheap tequila peach margaritas. Cheers.
Cheers. Clink, 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 clink.
Shayna.
Hi, I'm formerly known as ST, and I am from Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm happy to be here at the Real Drunk Show, and I am drinking Moscato d'Asti like I am from the West Side.
Morgan.
Hey, I am Morgan. I can be found on Twitter at JordanZT. I am from Baltimore. I think that's what they tell me. And I'm drinking this, whatever this is.
What is that?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
The same ghetto juice.
No, wait, cupcake wine is good, so I might have to try it.
Do I need it in my life?
Yes, I mean, I like
the
it.
red velvet
And
is
it's
great.
cost effective.
It really is. And you can get it at Walgreens
Absolutely.
in real life.
Cupcake wine it is. All right, I'm Kia. I'm in the east side of Atlanta, and I'm drinking out of my tuxedo mug, 1800.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I am committed to getting drunk tonight.
Oh.
So,
It's gonna get real interesting.
yeah, I might have to go and refill.
Of course.
It happens.
Yeah. So, speaking of dreams.
Uh-oh.
Girl, I'm not ready.
Dream Hampton showed up and showed out on Twitter.
Ooh, Jesus.
For those who don't know, Dream Hampton came up in the 90s. She was a writer, producer. She worked with Biggie, produced, I think, they said his Behind the Music special for VH1. And she has been very vocal. She has a close relationship with Jay-Z and Beyonce. She
Does she?
Hook me up if you do.
she co-wrote Jay-Z's book Decoded, which I enjoyed.
In the same way that she put herself on the board of Black Lives Matter?
Wait, so she's not really on their board?
Oh, you didn't get the tweet? The founder opened up her Twitter account for a few hours and confirmed that Dream Hampton is not on the board of Black Lives Matter, and in fact, they're still in the process of selecting board members for Black Lives Matter. So they don't know where she got that tidbit of information from. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just saying. Does she really work for Beyonce? Does she? Does she really?
I don't know what's real.
Okay.
What is reality and what is the dream? I'm dumbfounded right now. Like I don't know what else to say.
She too goddamn old to be that goddamn messy. She too old for that.
Like, and then she's gonna try to insinuate that what's her name? One of the other girls was being used, and that she was working for COINTELPRO because she took a screenshot. Like, lady, welcome to 2015. Cut it out. If you didn't know screenshots existed, I again beg the question whether or not you work in mass media. Because who doesn't know that the screenshot is real?
And the girl, Erica, I believe is her name, she told Dream that she was going to screenshot.
Yeah, she did. She already
did. She really did.
So where was the surprise at? And Dream, did she not respond? Screenshot, I don't care, or something of the sort? Like,
yeah, she was like, no, she said it's no need for you to screenshot. Okay. And let me just say that, for the record, that I do have animosity in my heart for Dream because she blocked me on Twitter. And I don't even know her. I've never tweeted her. I've never said anything offensive to her. In fact, the only reason I came out of hiding on Twitter is because I needed to tweet about, Sandra Bland. and all of these other people that are being murdered by police in our country. So I just really don't know what I did to offend Dream, but guess what? I'm offended, and so now I'm about to drag her ass through the dirt for as long as y'all let me talk about her.
I don't have any personal animosity. However, I feel that a woman of her age should grow the fuck up. Like, that's just what I feel.
It was sad for me because Dream is a hip hop writer, and that's like.
Is she?
She should stick to hip hop writing instead of calling out 25-year-olds on what they do and don't do. Like, come on now.
And the messiest part was when she talked about that $750. Like,
like, come on now.
Nothing worse than somebody doing something for you
and
telling everybody else. That's like when you wear your friend T-shirt and then she go to school and tell everybody that you got on her shirt, and you just be like, "Damn!"
Tweet that pops up when I searched Dream Hampton's name. My only interaction with you after meeting you in Ferguson was when I sent you $750 to get to DC to interrupt Sharpton Netta.
That's ouch.
Like, really, bitch? Really?
Why would she do that? That's
there are people who are doing so much shit for me right now, and they are not saying, Jennifer, this is that $50 I gave you to pay your return. Like, come on. Don't, you too fucking old.
Because when you do things the right way, you don't keep a record of stuff like that. But that's
right. I wouldn't even remember it. She petty. She petty as hell. I don't deal with her type of petty.
It was unnecessary. It was completely unnecessary. Why would you go through all of that? If you're supposedly on the beach chilling, because I'm sorry, when I'm on the beach chilling, I don't have my cell phone. I don't have my BlackBerry. I don't have anything. I'm relaxed.
You're not emailing shit to your assistant. If you don't email it, you might as well.
No.
Again, in 2015, who don't have the Twitter app on their phone? I'm tired of people trying to blame everybody else today, everything else that they do out here on social media on other people. Guess what? If it's your name on there and you got that blue verified check, bitch, it's you. Or you're responsible for everything that come out of your assistant mouth. And you and your assistant dumb as hell for thinking that people was going to see this girl's screenshots and be like, you know what, Dream? You're absolutely right. Everything that you said is right, and everything that this girl said is wrong. Because she told on herself. And that's the thing that I'm learning in this life about people like Dream Hampton. Just wait on them, because they will expose themselves. And it's really hard, because I love cussing the bitch out. I really do. And I know I'm saying bitch a lot. I'm woke. I say bitch. It's judge on. But I just, it's hard for me, because I really sometimes I just want to curse you out. But I'm finding that the vengeance is so much sweeter when you let people implode. It's beautiful. Wow. It's awesome. Did you see her swimming underwater with that cloudy ass water, looking like she was in somebody's backyard?
First of all, because I think that she ain't on vacation. Oh goddamn!
Girl, she's in the backyard.
Trying to figure shit out.
Exactly.
Until she could figure out that picture is from 2008, and she was like, "Let me throw in a I'm swimming in the ocean with the fishies picture," and then try to come. No, she ain't on vacation. She was trying to figure out how to come back. She didn't tweet no shit to her assistant. Like, assistant, please.
Does she have one?
That's right.
She might. Because, I use my 9-year-old daughter as my assistant.
Okay. All right.
Well, all right.
Baby, press send on this email for me, and then I got an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So, she may have an assistant, but ain't no assistant dictating that dumb shit. I'm going to email my assistant to send it. Come on.
At what point do you tell your boss, no, this is not a good idea. I cannot be a part of this.
Hey, this is stupid. This is dumb. Because I would have been like, Dream, she ain't even, like, it's not like if Beyonce was my boss and I was her assistant, I would tweet whatever Beyonce wanted me to do. But Dream motherfucking Hampton? You, like, seriously, somebody would have sat her ass down like, Dream.
I pick
Are
you.
you sure you want to do this? Like, hey, come on. No, she ain't got no damn assistant. And if she does, her assistant was not tweeting them damn email. I mean, email it. You know what I'm trying to say. That wasn't her.
You're not drunk yet, but you can't even get the sentence out. Come on.
I've been drinking since 4.
Yes, drinking. Turn it all the way up.
I had a rough ass week. tweet.
You have to say it says not drunk yet. You have to change it. It says not drunk yet.
Shit. Let me
you there. You there.
lying.
Cool.
Stop
Let me change it.
Listen, while we changing stuff, I just want to say, let's think about Mother B, okay?
Mhm.
Shout out to OMG Shantae and at Miss Bond to you, fellow Beyonce lovers. All right. What do we know about people who work for Beyonce? What do they say to the press?
Nothing.
Not a goddamn thing.
And this is why I question whether or not she worked for Beyonce and Jay-Z, because we're just now seeing pictures of Blue Ivy that Beyonce took 2-3 years ago, coming out from Vogue 2 or 3 years ago. Why? Because people around them have to shut the fuck up. So I don't understand how Dream fits into that mix, and that's why I'm saying, does she really still have all of these credentials that she's claiming she has? Because I don't understand how that matches with someone who is as irresponsible as she has shown herself to have been on a professional platform. And I'm sorry that too damn old to not know that a screenshot will get your ass shot up. And that's
damn old. Right, too damn old.
Too damn old. That's it. Period. How old is she? Too damn old.
Hold on. Look, I'm over here Googling.
Yeah, I couldn't find it because I did look
probably
it up.
blocked you from Googling, girl.
Yeah. Cause
she was born in 71. So
that's 8 years older than me. She's 44.
She too fucking old.
She's too motherfucking old.
Same age as Barack Obama presidency. 44th president. Too damn old. Old as fuck. And dumb.
She is old and dumb.
If I work for Beyonce, y'all can get me to do nothing wrong. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not doing anything to mess up my relationship with Sean Carter and Beyonce Giselle. Period. On nothing for the rest of my life. Like, y'all can pull out my eyelashes, toenails, whatever you need to do. I ain't saying nothing because Beyonce
is real too a Beyonce stand.
No, God.
In real life,
Beyonce is real.
Beyonce is Queen, Mother, God, Holy.
And you wrote a book, like, you're respected by them. You're not a gopher. You're not somebody that's getting their coffee. You're somebody sitting at the table. And you're going to open up your mouth over some petty stuff like this?
Inappropriate.
She should have never said nothing.
Bye, Dream.
From that first tweet about being mad at it's a deranged.
But then she don't tell him to beat it. How dare she disrespect Michael Jackson?
That's inappropriate. That was inappropriate.
Look, Beyonce followed 3 people. She don't even follow Dream. And you gonna tell somebody that she do follow? Like, Beyonce don't even follow
Jennifer. We are here.
Thank you. She don't follow no goddamn body, but she follow him and like her photographer and then like her security guard. And you gonna tell him to beat it? You look. Jesus. Beyonce has said that the race is chosen. He has chosen. Yes. Therefore, you need to respect him as chosen.
Yes, and bow down.
Thank you. Because he is an extension of Beyonce because she follows him on Twitter. Bitch, don't play with me.
And you know what she did? She insulted everybody personally. Like, anyone who knows me that may be watching this for real knows that I love to read. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Literally, figuratively, metaphorically, spiritual, all of that. I love to read, okay? And I just feel like it's a way for you to read people without being disrespectful to them. She gonna tell that girl that she was not a healer.
Ooh.
She told Netta that she was being used. Like, how disrespectful is that? When anyone who follows Netta and knows her story, she recently took a job with Amnesty International. Amnesty, like a lot of other corporate companies, tried to get her to bow down to that, corporate hierarchy that they try to squeeze black women and our greatness into. And Netta, being the strong, young black woman that she is, did not bow down and walked out of the job this week, okay? And anybody who has had to walk off their job for some bullshit before, know how that feels. And I personally know how that. No, I know how that feels.
I have personally walked up
You
fault.
feel
Some shit
bad
like,
because
you're
you
not
feel
gonna do me
like,
like this.
right, and you feel bad because you feel like it's your fault and you've done these things wrong, until other black women come around you and say, no, this is the way that the system is set up for us, and these are the things that you have to do if you want to stay in this system, or you're not going to do it and you're not going to be a part of this system. So Netta's working through that this week. You know what I mean? And that's cool. In the meantime, she's also tweeting Amnesty about why they're not reporting on the state of emergency with the number of black people who have been killed by police in this country. I believe the number is well into the 700s.
It is.
At this point.
Is it that high? It was like 615 last week.
Anybody who is doing something constructive at the heart is not going to be able to meet anybody else that is doing something constructive and try to tear that down. And that's what Dream did. Like, she disrespected me, and I don't appreciate that.
But wait, did y'all see when she threatened Erica to a street fight?
Yeah, a street fight, bitch. I fight you till you 90.
Hey, she's from Detroit. She is from
Detroit. From the west side of fucking Chicago.
I understand. Y'all fight in the street too. I mean, you know,
right.
when you get mad. But that goes to show you that she's 44, but she's really 4, because I'm not going to even disrespect my number like that. She's really 3 because she does not know how to control her mouth, and she does not know how to control herself. And see, that's the thing. Kia was tweeting about this earlier, like, how do you really work through your anger or your issues? Right? One of my issues when I was growing up was therapy. And so luckily I had a mama who did take me to anger management when I was in high school, because she recognized that, you know, my anger was a problem. And it was there that I learned the tools to be able to self-assess and say, you know what, Shayna, you're getting angry right now and you have some choices. What types of choices are you going to exercise? And the more that I went there, I recognized that sane or normal people or healthy people, however you want to phrase it, have the ability to do this naturally. I don't know that because I'm not one of them. Okay? So, to me, either you have one of two choices. Please, by all means, go and figure out why you don't have any self-control. Because that's real. Like, anytime you get to a point where you say, come fight me in the street, and you 44, like, women out here at 44, it's not trying to fight nobody in no damn street. At 44, your credit good, you got damn fine as hell, the sex supposed to be better, you got another car. Like, I don't understand. I don't no woman that I know at 44 who got herself together trying to fight nobody in the street. Now, I'll take you to court all day long, but I ain't got time to be messing up this face, fighting you in the street at 44. Like, you're just trying to hold on and live in the moment. 44. Girl, she's 3.
I did threaten to turn on my location for this girl to come get her ass whipping this week on Twitter.
But Kia, you ain't 44 though.
Wait. Did I miss this fight? How did I miss this fight on this Twitter? I
you
do
know
threaten
what?
my in-laws.
I will acknowledge that I was reacting because I went back and read our Twitter exchange and I was like, Kia, you went from 0 to 100 for no reason at all.
Listen, it happened. 44.
That's what happened. You need to let a bitch know sometime.
Yes,
I'm not that one.
But all I'm saying is, if you're going to do that, then don't use the very same. Because, see, let me tell y'all this. I will let a bitch know that I will come and fight you in the street because I'm not 44 either. So, you know, if you start pushing the right buttons, the Lord may not be as merciful that day in my life, and I might have to let you know on my location. But I'm saying I cannot use the very same platform to say, well, I'm not going to condone violence, and I'm not going to you know, allow anyone to get onto my page and disrespect women, and I'm not going to allow anybody. See, that's what happens when you get learned. Sometimes people try to feel like that separates them from who they used to be before they awaken, right? And so it's like, girl, gone. The rest of us are like, God ain't through with me yet. I still might beat your ass, so watch out, bitch. And she over here like, no, you know, we're not gonna do that violence because and then you threaten to fight somebody in the street, and now you mad because the screenshot is real. Dream, bye, girl. Bye. And fire your assistant. Who got her assistant? She should have got her assistant from Tawanda or Carlton or Mr. Couture or somebody, one of these reality shows. Because whoever her assistant is that didn't tell her that this girl was going, because we have all worked for older people who don't know how to use their social media, even if you haven't worked for them. Your mama might be one of them, okay? And you have to explain to your parents the types of, language, because digital media is a form of literacy, right? And so you have to teach people how to read that. Now I'm using my degrees.
Come on, honey.
And so all I'm saying is, if you have an assistant and she's competent because you work for Beyonce, because I work for Beyonce, who would love to work for Beyonce? I would love to work for Beyonce.
If Beyonce
I'm never
called me today and said,
I'm not gonna come to work and be unprepared, right? So if I'm supposed to be your assistant and I'm the assistant to the person that's writing Beyonce's books, Lord knows, no shade to the queen, but she need help in that area, so they gotta be tight, right? How are you not gonna tell your boss that this is about to happen? Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like the assistant doesn't exist because the assistant definitely would have been like, "Hey, Dream, I don't know if you fully understand what is
the ramifications
about
to pay attention, stay woke, play chess. You should have known as soon as somebody hit your DM and started asking a little bit of a probing question.
Why are you discussing this on Twitter anyway? Because either you or your assistant don't know how to read. Social media, lesson number 1. Social media is a form of literacy. It's called digital media literacy. Learn to read.
And so another thing about this whole assistant thing, her tweets were back to back to back. They were not like 2 minutes apart, 3 minutes apart, where you're sending them and whatever. And hey, I want a separate tweet. She was tweeting this shit because at 9:49, she says, Sinetta, this is a long, hard road. You have lots of work to do. Work to keep doing. Take care of yourself, Netta.
Read.
At 9:49, she says, beat it, D-Ray. Look, is it DeRay or D-Ray? I want to call him D-Ray because that's to me. So she said, like, these are back to back to back. Like, I'm sorry. Dream is petty. Dream is immature. At some point, you have to realize I need to give this shit up. I promise I will not bring up my funky-ass ex-husband in every single example, but this time I am. There are times that I say to him, like, look, you know what? I am going to back up and reverse myself because right now, this conversation is dumb as fuck. And if I participate in this conversation, I'm as dumb as your dumb ass is. So let me stop. Because you are stupid. And when I talk to you, you make me as stupid as you are. So I quit. I don't want to do that.
Oh, my God. And I learned that in anger management. That's real. That is so real.
Look, sometimes you got to know when you just back the fuck up and be like, you win. I'm going to win in reality, and you can win all in crazy land.
Yes.
Crazy land, you are the victor. Yes, sir. You did win this
You are the king. You won.
Over where grown people hang out, and I'm going to keep winning over there. Because right now, I'm doing shit.
To the left, to the left.
What's up,
just inspired me to go to anger management.
You don't need anger management. Just keep tweeting me. I got you. I got all the anger management. I got all of this shit. I know all too.
Just like with any other.
I have it for free.
Just like with any other illness, you're not fully cured. Just like an addict, you always want to drink.
Exactly.
You're an alcoholic, so I always want to, snatch somebody. Every. But I use the tactics that I learned, because I recognize that I have goals, right? And I recognize as a growing adult and a maturing young woman that I cannot let my physical desires control my pursuits, my profession.
Sometimes you want an alcohol, but you realize you got a job to go to on Monday.
And not only that, do y'all remember when right after Portia from Decatur, y'all know I don't like Decatur, but shout out to Glenn, and she know where she from, shall not be named, and Shantae again. But do y'all remember when Portia snatched Kenya?
When
No, 'cause I don't
Portia,
watch that
yes,
shit,
when
though.
Portia,
And then when Portia was on that ground looking beat as hell and was like, y'all, I feel so bad that she let me take her there. Y'all remember that?
yes,
Portia was legitimately sad that she had snatched Kenya down, right? I think that any real growing adult feels that every time they do something wrong, right? You be like,
yeah,
damn, I shouldn't have done that. And that feeling
Right.
sucks, especially when other people see it and then, they embarrassed and then you
yeah,
embarrassed for them and for you. It's just not good. And so that's why I question whether or not, right, she's in a space where she's able to properly self-assess, because if she was, she would have thought it through. Like, she would have thought it all the way through because she realized what she had to lose.
Yeah, that was too much.
Unless her ego has gotten to the point where she feels like she
She
don't need
lived down the
nobody.
street from Notorious B.I.G. Everybody loved Biggie, and she was down with Biggie, and now she thinks that's her ticket into fucking with everybody. Your time has passed, my nigga. You
oh,
Well,
really
now when
need
you're
to.
embarrassing people, on social media, especially people who are attempting to do things
The right way.
the correct way and to
Yeah.
really, move our people forward. Come on, man. You're just attacking the wrong person at the wrong time.
speaking of moving our
Yeah.
people forward, Jimmy
Uh-oh.
at JBrit06 is asking who is eating chicken wings on the Real Drunk Show.
Look,
That would be Morgan!
He also wants to know what you are drinking, Jennifer.
What am I drinking?
Yes.
Jimmy, I am drinking a peach margarita made with cheap ass tequila, but the shit is good. So it don't matter. We've got expensive ass tequila, but I don't feel like it should be mixed with things.
Yeah,
So
expensive tequila you have to take straight.
thank you. I will be at that real soon when we move to our next topic. Fuck dream. When we move to our next topic,
My
take a
dream,
break.
girl.
yeah. I mean,
Right. We don't.
because I'm
Mike Epps
Now I
drink.
change my information on the side. See, let me read the instructions on my media. You understand? Digital
Goddamn
media
nightmare.
literacy. Learn to read, Dream. Screenshots will fuck you up in 2015. Do not type nothing
Every
that you
single
don't want
time.
nobody else to see. Okay? Read the fine print, Dream. You're a writer. That means you read well. Or do you?
Speaking of dreams turning into nightmares, Mike Epps'
Uh-uh.
dreams turned into nightmares this week on Twitter.
mm.
Mike Epps tried so hard to dive into CC's DMs.
The DM.
That was cute.
And then 2 days later, his wife shows up.
Wait, I thought that was the same day.
I
No,
did too, Jesus. I
I
got
thought it was the same day. I misinformed.
I want to say it was like a day later.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
God.
He
Okay.
showed up, so everything
Well, I
went
appreciate
down already.
that his wife was too busy to notice that in the same day. I appreciate that.
You
Or
appreciate
was she? Or was she? Like, come on. It's the same subject, just a different cast. And y'all know what? I hate to do this to Mike Epps because, again, I'm from Atlanta, west side of Atlanta.
Yeah.
High, Zone 4, Flatland, Adamsville, Dub High, all day. Okay? But now, Mike Epps, now, Mike, you know better than this.
No, you
One.
know what? I don't think he does. Now, Mike Epps has gone on the record to say he sat in special ed classes. Mike Epps has an IEP. He didn't think this through. He needed more time. He needed some accommodations and some modifications, but he didn't have it. So,
As an educator,
Wow.
I like to pull my look. I spent a whole lot of years and a whole lot of school and a whole lot of classes on,
We did too.
that particular thing. Hey, educators for life. So sometimes people
Grease.
who need modifications should also have modifications for Twitter.
Girl.
Like Brady did not think one, oh shit, my wife follows me on Twitter. I think this lady is pretty. I am going to try to do things with this lady that I think is pretty.
No.
And he didn't put all them things together, like at the same time. So as an educator, I am trained in providing modifications like, hey, let's start off with what do you want to do, Michael? Michael, seriously. Let's start off with step one. Is your wife on Twitter? He did not take that step one before. And then the whole nephew thing. Sir, no, your nephew.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
don't
you
know.
need to take a fucking L and just be done. I lost. I fucked
I
up.
don't know. I don't think
So-
any logical person would do that, knowing that somebody, like, even if his wife wasn't on Twitter, somebody was gonna tell her. I don't think any logical person would do that. You know? I don't know.
I agree with you. There was no logic to the action
logic.
or to the excuse.
Let me
And
just
you know
say,
what? He didn't even try to bury the tweets. Like when I tweet crazy stuff, I go back and then I tweet a whole bunch of Bible verses and stuff so that it's deep down and it's hard for you to find when you first come to my page. He didn't even try to do that.
I didn't know burying tweets were a thing.
I don't have.
listen,
Should I say?
listen, let me just say this.
What?
The reason that I'm not going to go forward and speak about, see, this is a living example that therapy works, right? I like my jobs. So I'm not going to say what I would like to say about Mike Epps in the same vernacular that I talked about Dream Hampton, because I realized that he's coming to the table with a different set of circumstances. So with that, I'm just going to give the simple message of referring back to the same lesson. We still on lesson 1. Okay? Social media is a form of digital literacy.
Yes,
Oh,
it
she
is.
If you cannot read, learn today. And the thing is, in all seriousness, yes, it's funny, but for real, I'm tired of this, and I can't stand it, so I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Google is so real, it will teach you lots of things, won't it, Jordan ZT? Okay, and anything that you want to learn how to do, you can just Google it or whatever. And no matter what type of learner you are, whether
Wait,
you're
I feel like I
a
missed
visual
something.
learner,
Yeah.
whether
You feel like you
you're
missed something?
an audio learner, whether you prefer more kinesthetic activity, you can learn anything that you want to learn from Google, right? So all I need Mike Epps and everybody else who don't know how to work their Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and everything, y'all need to keep up, because the thing is, these hackers are real and they way ahead of us. So you think that you having a problem because you don't know what a screenshot is, or your nephew or uncle or whoever you want to blame for the thirst in your brain and your private area that led you to send this inappropriate message. No, all of y'all need to go to class, and that's why I'm trying to figure out how I can write me some lessons to teach people how to read, because it's really a pandemic. It really is.
So
It really is.
I don't think the message that he sent her was necessarily inappropriate.
It is. If
think
he married to me, it is. You better not be asking no females on no form of social media out loud if they is on Instagram, and if you can hop in their DMs about anything if you married to me.
I am an individual who is like I am. If I were to ever be married again, I would probably still have a boyfriend. Like I'm just gonna let my husband know. Like, yeah, you know I'm gonna have a boyfriend. I can't. You're not enough.
No.
I will probably tell him you're just not gonna be enough for me.
You know what?
Which, you know what? I was going to bring that up in a later conversation.
Oh, shit. I got a story.
Oh shit!
So I have 2 questions. The first question is, like, how would you have reacted if you were Miss Epps? Because all she did was hit him with the emoji eyes and hit the block button. So how would you have reacted? And my second question is, do you think people have the freedom to make up their own rules when it comes to marriage?
I do. So here I'll answer both of your questions. I probably would have reacted similarly, like, hey, what's going on? I don't think those emoji eyes, she may have been eyeing for a different reason than everybody else thought. She might have been like, hey, she's kind of cute. That's like number one. And number 2, I honestly, I don't, I don't see the big deal. Like, I honestly don't see the big deal. I think relationships are really fluid. Like, I'm the wrong person. Because some people would be mad.
No, you're not.
Like, look,
Young boys.
that
No,
bitch
you're not.
made my plate, and now we got to fight everybody.
No,
I'm
you're
like,
not.
that's the
Because
fucking
if I
point.
can just hitchhike with you, I will say that love and your marriage and whatever else you choose to do with your body as a cognizant and free thinking individual is your business. And whatever covenants you
Yeah.
choose to engage in agreement with, and whomever you serve as a deity or the deity within you, is between you and whoever you make that agreement with. All I'm saying
Yeah.
is, do not put your business out here on social
On the damn
media,
Twitter.
because
Yes.
that is what creates problems in the covenant that you have made with you and whomever you have decided to be in agreement with.
Can I
So
just
that's why I said Mike Epps' wife shouldn't have said nothing to him on Twitter, especially if he does have an IEP and if his nephew does run his Twitter account. Because what did she do? She fanning the flame, right? Because
She
if she
really
just wouldn't have
is.
said anything and walked over to the next
Yeah.
man like I was
Right, don't y'all
doing,
live in the same
answered
house?
that
Also, I
phone
put that
and
shit
been
on
like,
connection down.
excuse
I'm like,
me,
homie,
what is
what's
this? What is
wrong?
girl see
this?
the
Right?
paycheck?
And
Keep
then
moving
you
around.
asking the questions and you saying, what is this? Because you really want to know the answer.
But
But
to
when
put
you
it on
really want to
Twitter,
involve other people in your business,
right?
or if you really don't understand that social media is a form of digital literacy and you need to navigate it with a certain intention,
I
then
love
you get
teachers.
on to Twitter and you tweet one emoji and you think it's harmless, and now your marriage over.
It's
And that's the
it's not
thing.
even over, but your business is in
Like, why? And
danger.
now people
Because
talking
I
about
promise,
yourself because you
the
wanted them
right,
to. You wanted them to, and that's why
if
I
we
said
never
that it
saw
was
her
it was for
tweet with those eyes, we would have never known anything. We wouldn't have
exactly.
cared. We
Exactly.
wouldn't have had
Especially if she
no
know her
shit.
husband got an IEP, because again, as a fellow educator,
Mm.
Just got an
we
IEP.
understand that when you're working with someone that has an IEP, and for those listening, an IEP is an individual educational plan for those who are diagnosed under the 13 disabilities of IDEA. All
Sometimes it's like
educators have to
17.
make special provisions under the law for these individuals. So I'm
Yes.
sure that if you know the person that you marry, and if I'm not mistaken, they've been married for a long ass time, then you know
She
how to
know
speak
he's
to him,
slow.
and you know
Wait,
that
hold
he
on.
has certain accommodations that need to be met. And that's why I'm
Everybody
saying
say
that
Madison.
Messi along with Dream, and both of them can go on. And so
Say
let me
hi to
just, what's his
everybody.
wife name? Let me Google.
Everybody.
Hi,
This
Cinder.
is Cinda. This is my baby girl.
Hey.
Hi,
What's
Cinder.
Mike Epps'
She's
wife
going to
name?
go play. Go play, baby. Have fun, okay?
Pretty girl.
What a broadcast is. Don't tell me.
Okay, bye, baby.
Hey.
Oh, her name is
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Michelle.
she's beautiful.
That's Jacinda. She is
What
the
do you
love of
call
my
it?
life.
What do you call it?
What do I call what?
What you're doing right now?
I am talking to my friend.
So, like, one word, like broadcast.
It is a broadcast, yes.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Technically, no, but kind of, sort of.
Internet TV.
I am on internet TV.
Yeah, she's so smart. See, she
She
can
is.
read. She understands digital media
My baby is
literacy.
brilliant.
He is getting it. He is getting
That's
it.
a brilliant kid.
Okay,
Y'all
at OMG Shantae says, I refuse to follow a person I'm dating on social media. It's never worked out for me. How do you guys
no.
feel about that? Honestly, the last guy who I dated on social media, I used to mute him on and off because he would say stupid
Girl,
stuff that would piss me off, and I just didn't want to deal with it.
Social media saved
girl.
my life.
Yes. I have had to, so the guy that I really, really like, I deleted him on Facebook, and he's kind of mad about that. But I don't like, it's me, it's for me, and it's for him. I want our life to be between me and him. So, like, I don't want you learning about things that I said because I tweeted it. I wanted to, and
That's the point.
the other guy, he, like, I don't want people that I'm dating following me. It just doesn't look good. I had
That's
some guy I was dating who he said some things about some like real personal shit in the moment, and I'm like, what the fuck? And my friends are texting me like, do you realize he just tweeted this? And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So,
and why
I
those people your friends? Like, don't text me and tell me nothing that nobody said on social media. That shit is petty too. They can go with Dream.
No, they like the friends. They were good. The friends were like, hey, you need to just like let him know that that's just not appropriate to tweet. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh hell no. And then like he was the wrong one. He was dead ass wrong. No.
And you know
If
what though?
No.
That came up too. Like, he would see my tweets and kind of gauge my moods and react to me based on what I had been tweeting.
No.
No.
See, that shit works for people who are immature, who don't communicate within their relationship. Like, the thing is, social media is an entity, and if you don't understand it, it will mess all your whole life up. Or if you do understand it, it can work very well for you. You can become very rich and famous. You can, get job opportunities. We've seen it work very, very well for some people, and we've seen it work horribly for some people, right? But the thing is, back to this, a relationship is a covenant between you and whoever you decide in the date. And I just feel like y'all need to discuss y'all problems offline. Like, don't read what I'm saying on Twitter and use that as a gauge for our relationship. If you standing right here next to me, you want to know how I gauge our relationship? Look at me and ask me. And that's the problem. People don't know how to talk to each other anymore. And that's why they out here discussing their personal business on social media. No God. No God.
I have actual friends and who I can contact when I have personal shit. Like some things, me tweeting my whole life story with my ex-husband and all that shit, that was like the very first time that I was like really detailed about what was going on. But I have friends. I don't need to tweet y'all. I got friends. If I want to tell you something, I can DM you or call you or text you. But some of this shit, like, look, yeah, some folks need to keep. I don't know. They don't know how to have.
Because this is the thing. When you over that person and you happy and you look back at all of that stupid, crazy crap that you were tweeting about them or texting or Facebooking or Instagramming, all of these horrible videos where you shooting birds and playing sad love songs and all of this stuff that you can't delete because it's the World Wide Web and everybody sees it and it never dies even when you delete it, but you don't know that because you don't understand that digital media literacy is real. So you out here pouring your heart out like this is a diary, and it's not. And so when you're happy and you have to look back on that, you're going to be embarrassed.
There are lots of people that are embarrassed about the shit that they do.
At Axel Rose says, no. People cannot make up their own rules to marriage.
Whoa.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Don't have to tell Rose, like, look, boo,
And Ho Sit Down said, what is this marriage you speak of? Does it involve the mythical character they call Bae?
Hey, Bae.
Connie Chameleon said, yes, couples have to do what is best for them.
For them.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, they
like that's y'all business and keep it private if you want to keep it together. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know.
Rose said, no, I can't date someone on Twitter because once we break up, then someone got to leave and it won't be me.
Can I be honest?
That's the hardest thing. Especially when you follow them and you're trying to decide whether you're going to be the petty one
and block their ass, or if they gonna be the petty one and block your ass.
I never block. Well, I just unfollow.
Or whether you're just gonna suffer through,
like the dust you are. Bye bye.
No, like I never had to go there on anybody. Like, I mean, well, deuces. You know,
hey, Chris Brown.
So I've dated 2 people that I met like off Twitter. One person, that is a beautiful
Right,
man.
is this the
Y'all don't know him.
day?
I am not tweeting him. Y'all not gonna never know him. You won't
Wait, is this the day we talk about on the after show?
Nope. This is a
Oh,
different
okay.
guy. Y'all ain't gonna never know him because guess what? I don't want y'all bitches knowing him. Somebody asked me, what's his ad name? He don't have one. He absolutely don't have one because I don't want y'all knowing shit about him. And I legit met him on the Twitter. Like 100%. He is 100% a Twitter person that did not know him before. We have no mutual friends, nothing.
Oh, wow.
But
I've never done that before. That's kind of
Yeah.
like no background.
no background, no nothing. You know what? He went to Morehouse. God damn, I can't help myself. Oh,
Wait,
Let me read out.
you
Wait,
don't
Jennifer.
know him.
Jennifer,
Out of one of the three of us know him.
I'm old as hell. So that
Jennifer, I don't follow.
No, you do not.
All I'm saying
Keep
is
your business private.
He is mine, all mine.
Damn right, and that's your right.
Look, don't have me sing Beyonce. I just want to say he's mine, all mine. Look, I will sing Beyonce on y'all asses. There's a Beyonce song for every situation.
Absolutely.
Mine,
You're in the house of God. You're in the house. You're in the right place.
The house of the bee?
Yes.
I am
You're in
here.
the right place. Amen.
Yeah. Don't have me.
All right, so speaking of making up the rules to your marriages, Lala was accused of cheating on Carmelo this week. When she ended
That
up
was beautiful.
She ended up with the movies to see Straight Outta Compton with Mano, who is a rapper. What is Mano saying?
First of all, is it Mano or Mano?
Well, if it's Mano, I think he's from Baltimore.
Oh God.
I don't know.
But isn't she from Baltimore?
No, I think he's been through
He's from
here.
New York.
I think he was born in Baltimore.
He used to play here when he was younger, I think.
So,
like, you know, that's crazy. How do you cheat? I don't know. Like, you don't go to public places to cheat. I don't understand that.
Yes, you do.
that was it. That was
Wait, what they said? See, I'm not. I can't.
Yeah, you gotta do. That normalized.
When you cheat on somebody, this is my thing. First of all, who says that it's cheating? Because again, I believe as a free thinker who wants to align herself with another free thinker.
Come on, free thinker.
That I can make the rules in the covenant that I choose to engage in, or the deity that I choose to serve, because I'm a free thinker.
Come on, free thinker.
Anybody who tells you that you can't make your own rules about anything is somebody that is boxed into this system where they're not a free thinker, and that's okay. For the kids watching, it's okay to be different. It's okay to make your own rules. Anyway, who says it's cheating? They might like to get down like that.
Hey, now.
Be careful and don't, you know what I mean, expose so many. Like when you're a high profile celebrity, you can't do things like regular people do. Some people might like to meet the person, you know, that they dealing with out in public. They might want to do that, and that's their prerogative. But when you're a high profile celebrity, if you don't want people questioning your choices, then keep what you choose to do private.
I think that's it.
Which is what she did on her Instagram post. I wish she would have chosen a better song to do it, because
she gonna leave as soon as that tour is over.
I think the last one ended. I think the tour is ended. And you know, I'm here for Nicki Minaj, but I wish she would have chosen another song to do it. But basically, that's what she told us to do. You know, mind our business. And I just feel like if you want people to mind their business, then don't give us your business to mind. How about that?
If you want people to mind their business, don't give them your business to mind.
I believe that's lesson 4. Let me go ahead and tweet that out. You can follow me at formerly known as STV's. Lessons are free.
No, we charge. No, I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of cheating,
it's free tonight.
Ashley Madison, I always want to call him Ashley Stewart, but that's like the old furniture store.
That is so funny.
Ashley Madison had a leak. Ashley Madison is a site where cheaters can go to cheat. Now, I do think in the rules of marriage, there's a difference. If you are going to choose to be in a open relationship, if you're going to choose to be in a relationship where you can date other people, there should be honesty, right, and transparency there.
Yes.
You shouldn't
people can make their own choices.
Exactly. Everyone should have the right to have the information, the accurate information to make a choice whether they want to be involved in this situation or not.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
can't just log on Ashley Madison and start finding your extramarital lovers without consulting me first.
Unless you can, because that's the rules y'all set up.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, well, okay.
But I don't see how that would work in a relationship. But you're right, Kia. You can't just log on without me knowing. I mean, or you're lying.
I need to know that, I need you to at least say to me, I am interested in sleeping with other people, and I may go out and do that. And then give me the option of whether I want to stay in this relationship.
How many men cheat or women cheat? Like, is that really I don't know. Like, we always assume that people are cheating, but are they really?
Yeah.
Like, are they really?
You know what? I had looked up statistics at one point in time in my life. Because, but I can't remember it was a crazy number. And I want to say off the top of my head, and I could be completely wrong, tweet me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was somewhere between like 50 and 75%.
They actually cheat?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I do remember that they said the average affair lasts 2 years, too. So these aren't short. Yeah, these aren't short one-night stands.
Well, I'm a product of an affair, though, and I'm going to leave it there.
And you know what? I am going to respect your wishes to leave it there. But what I found since I've been on Twitter, a lot of people are. I have had more than one follower tell me that they were a break baby.
Yeah.
It happens, man. It happens. And that's the thing that takes me back to Dream, disrespectful, ungrateful, and irresponsible ass.
You back on Dream again.
You open up your mouth, and I'm defending 1867 Shaun King right now, because when you open up your mouth on social media, you need to realize what you're saying. And when you give your opinions, you need to understand that sometimes your opinions are offending folk. And you need to be careful that if you care about what you're saying and you care about offending people, then think about what you say before you open your stupid ass mouth. Because you might be causing people hurt and not even know it, because you're just so interested in saying what it is that you feel is so important that you need to say. And that's the thing. Even though Netta defended herself accurately, and even though, Netta is characterized as this strong woman, she's a human being. I was following her before Ferguson, and even if you weren't just following her, she lost her mother this year. So
you know what? And I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it was so recently. I think
it
a lot
might
about
have
her
been
mom.
Like 1 year anniversary, and she lost her mother suddenly. If I am recalling it correctly, and if you see me pausing, it's because I want to be sure that I'm not misspeaking about her situation, because it's delicate, right? And so
right.
all I'm saying, your words are still words on social media. Just like when you look at somebody and you say, "You are so stupid. I hate your guts. You're ugly. I don't like you." And it hurts their feeling in real life. It hurts their feelings online. And if you are a decent human being, you care about hurting people's feelings. You're not just out here trying to be a feelings hurter. Or if you are, then you can go over here with Dream and with Mike Epps' wife and whoever else is in the corner that we put them in today. All I'm saying is, when you talk about people, make sure that you know what you're talking about and that you're not offending anybody else in the room, because there's nothing worse than you delivering a read or what you think is a read, and then everybody turns on you like they turned on Dream this week, and you look like an ass. It's not cute and it's not fun. And I guarantee you that Netta's feelings were hurt, even if she never says it, and that matters. Like, that shit sucks. When you're not doing anything wrong and somebody just hurt your feelings, that ain't right.
Yeah.
Feelings matter.
The real ego did point out. the real ego did point out that we don't know that other spouses don't know regarding their being signed up for Ashley Madison. Maybe, the wife, the husband knew that their spouse had signed up for Ashley Madison. But you know what was interesting about this? Josh Duggar signed up for Ashley Madison. The same Josh Duggar who kind of like didn't he molest his sister?
He didn't kind of like.
No, he molested. Yes.
Okay. See, I was waiting on y'all to fact check me.
It wasn't kind of anything.
Sisters. He molested them as teenagers. It was his sisters and another girl, right?
I don't know about the other girl.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that it was some people that was
the siblings.
in the house with him.
Siblings.
And that was enough for me. I couldn't read anymore.
Yeah, I don't like to read about that type of stuff.
That's not cool.
Spirit.
It was his sisters.
Yeah.
Well, and since then, he has signed up for Ashley Madison behind his wife's back. And today,
can he get some too?
She blames herself for it, and I didn't read the article.
Wait, I missed that.
He can't get nothing.
Yes, girl. Yes, yeah. And see, that takes me. Don't start me to talk about stuff that the church makes people accept and apologize for and take ownership of that ain't really theirs. See, the church has this. Y'all, I can't even talk about it.
So
all I'm saying is, yes, these sisters basically said that they forgive their brother in the same way that, these people are asking these mothers whose sons have been cut down by police brutality and domestic terrorism if they forgive the cop that killed their child. Like, why are you immediately asking me, because that's the Christian thing to do, if I forgive someone? That's the thing we was talking about earlier with the follower, the Cosby, I think his name, what's his name, the real Cosby or something like that. I'll find him and tweet him. But when people force you to forgive people.
Oh, the Cosby. The koala bear?
Yes, yeah. And when people force you to apologize, that's how you get this victim mentality, and you start to accept that, that it was my fault that my brother touched me, or it was my fault that this bad thing happened to me. And the church has this way of especially making women, and black women, as we all know, feel like we're the cause of the sexual, violence that we experience. And in case anybody is listening, like the lap cloth. Why do I have to put on the lap cloth? Because you can't control your dick with your nasty ass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not my fault that you can't keep your dick and your emotions together, because God gave you
it ain't got nothing to do with my fine legs. Right. If I want to show my legs, it ain't got nothing to do with your dick.
I grew up with long skirts to your ankles. Like, I grew up in a culture church in the 80s when it was like long skirts, no makeup, nothing to entice men, all of that bullshit. And that has shaped my whole, view of Christianity. Wow. And I know I'm jaded, but I just can't get down with, it's my fault as a woman that you as a man can't control yourself. Because if I have self-control and I'm a human being and you are also a human being and you don't have it, what the fuck? I'm not into the whole let's forgive the men for their flaws, but don't you ever as a woman fuck up and wear makeup. Not gonna work with me.
Right.
I am
Listen,
I'm so opposed to this shit. I can't even.
I'm not here to repress your inappropriate sexual desires. Let me say it again, because that's going to be lesson 5. I am not here to repress your inappropriate sexual desires in any place. I don't care if we on the plane, at work, at church, if I'm walking down the street, whatever. You don't have the right to do or say anything to me that I don't give you permission to do or say, no matter what the circumstances are, period.
There was a little girl who was sent home from school for having a shirt where her collarbone was showing. Look.
Yes.
Can you see my collarbone? This is my collarbone. Her shirt may have been down to here.
Wow.
That's not that low.
Wow.
So she was sent home. Her parents were called because the boys were getting distracted. Here's my thing. As an educator, why the fuck are you calling the girls' parents home instead of the distracted children? Like, if there are kids being distracted by some dumb shit, you call, like, hey, why is your son being distracted by shit that he shouldn't be distracted by? Maybe you need to teach him about girls. Like, maybe you need to have this conversation about the birds and the bees with him, because clearly he can't learn and he can't focus with girls in the room, and there are girls in this world. So are you teaching him, like, grow up? You can't, like, girls are gonna be around. You can't do shit because there are girls here. And look.
And that's the thing. It takes us back to this thing of the hypersexualization of black girls, right? Like, we're never seen
It was a little white girl, but
it doesn't matter. It takes me back to the hypersexualization of black girls, especially at church, right? Like, you are constantly told that you have to cover up, or, you know, that this is showing, or if you've ever been out and a grown-ass man said something inappropriate to you at 12 or 13 years old, like, it just shows that we are never given the right to be children. You know what I mean? We're never given the right to be young and innocent.
You know what? I'm nearly 40 years old. I'm 36. I will be 40 in 4 years. All of my life, I have dealt with people, men especially, saying she's gonna be fine when she grow up. She's gonna be this when she grow up.
She's already fine. Look at her legs.
When I was 13, I had a man tell me, I had a grown-ass man tell me at the skating ring that I had some sexy-ass lips.
Man, people have said this stuff to people in church. Like, I've had stuff happen like this in church.
Me too. In my sanctified Kojic church, I have had men say inappropriate sexual things to me. And I'm like, that's not right. No, one day of my life have I looked my age. I am damn near 40 right now, and I know I don't look it. So if I don't look 40 to me, I know I don't look 40 to you. What the fuck is wrong with you talking to someone who you think is much younger?
It's inappropriate. I think I would venture to say it's happened to a fair amount of us, but it's so inappropriate. Like, sir, at what point do you, like? I don't know. I think that falls under mental illness to me.
You know,
they need an IEP for this
Let me go back to Dream.
You need an IEP for your pedophilia.
Because these same people, this is the problem with this Duggar guy, is that if he was just in his lane and, you know, trying to live his life and grow as all human beings are, right? We all fall short. We all make mistakes. We all F up. We all trying to get it right. At least the good ones are. I know I am. Jesus, help me, Lord, right? But see, I'm not also out here saying that, Kia, you're wrong because you like to wear blue eyeliner, and I'm right because I like to wear black eyeliner, in the same way that Josh, or whatever his name is, Duggar, is telling all the gay people that they're going to burn in the pit of hell because they're gay, whereas he's touching his sisters and allowing his son to touch his sisters, or however it goes. I just know the daddy and the son is involved in some nasty ass shit that also goes against the 10 Commandments. And being gay ain't even one of the 10 Commandments, because he done broken down like 4. If you want to see them, I favorited it earlier so that I can refer to it in this moment. It's called the 4 Commandments that Josh Duggar broke, and being gay ain't one. And I just want to say, you know, you got to be careful when you out here like Dream trying to talk about Pope and say where they have fallen short and what they have done, because I know I have fallen short, and I know, you know, that I've done some things wrong. So I'm trying to be real careful about how I'm judging you, because I don't want you to judge me, because I'm out here trying to get it right. Amen. But be careful what you say, or be like Dream.
And that is a very valid point. You can't be self-righteous and hold yourself up as the standard.
I ain't do it.
Your shit stinks like everyone else's shit stinks.
Yes, you do.
Don't judge. Don't judge. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Let's just see.
So everyone,
you writing all these lessons down?
Oh, they on
Okay.
Twitter. Just follow me
Are
on
you all
Twitter.
listening
Oh,
right now? You listening? This
yeah.
is the person who has let me stay in her house, who has sheltered me through my whole bullshit with my ex-husband. This is
God
my
bless you.
friend.
God bless you. God
I
bless
love
you. God
her
bless you. God
so
bless you.
Yay!
much.
May the
This
Lord
is my
richly bless
queen.
you.
Love her. She is
God
the
bless you.
queen of
God bless you. God bless you.
I love
Thank
her.
you for taking care of our
God
Jennifer.
bless you. God bless
Everybody says thank you so much for taking care of me.
God
I
bless you.
love.
God bless you. God bless you.
That big
She said it's not that big of a deal, and I'm her drinking buddy, and we gonna drink together. I still drink some more. Here, this will make me one.
Yeah, keep
man.
on drinking. Amen. Shoot.
Love her.
Yes.
I am living in her basement right now. I am an ashy Twitter nigga. I got a pallet. But my girl, like, she told me, hey, you don't have to leave. And I'm like, I'm invading your privacy. And she told me, no, I appreciate you here because you looking out for my house. Nigga, you cook every night.
But that's
You
the spirit
can't
of the black
leave.
woman. That's the spirit of the black woman. We are here for each other. You understand what I'm
She's
saying?
like, no, you
Yeah.
can't leave yet.
That's why when women tell me that they don't
Sunday
have
night
no
dinner.
black women friends, I just be like, girl, something wrong
I
with
get
you because
sad.
You.
my friends, they there when I don't even know I need them to be there. And that's what your friend is
Yes.
supposed to do for you, man.
I
Yeah.
Get you
I
some.
I love black women. I
And
love
we'll look
black
out for
women.
each other. Like, don't let it only be two black
Hard as
women in the
hell.
room. We gonna try to, work with each other. Unless you one of those who feel like you can't have black women friends. And again, I refer to Dream in that corner.
And her black husband brought me some cigars.
Yes,
Yes!
whatever you need. That's black love. Your friends are my friends. Shit,
I
your
love
friends
them.
set out. My
They're my
friends set out.
favorite people in the whole wide world. I promise you. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes.
That's so
Oh.
sweet. That's so sweet.
And,
That's so
and
sweet.
God gonna bless them for that generosity.
God is gonna bless them
They
so
are.
hard. I don't even believe in God that hard.
But I believe
But
in karma
somebody
though.
gonna bless
And
them.
you believe in karma and that
I
what you
believe
get put out is what you get back.
Get him.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Those my people. Who
So
we talk wait, what are we talking about next? I'm about to be your segue. What are we talking about next?
Tom Brady.
Oh
Bitch ass.
God.
Now, let me reposition
Here
Punk
we go.
motherfucker.
Oh
this
man.
all privilege Kent
Gucci.
doll ass.
Fuck him. Damn white person.
We're not
Y'all
here
don't
for.
y'all don't
Let,
like Tom
let me
Brady?
tell you,
Fuck no.
I love football. I
I
watch
love the
college
shit out of
football. I
football.
watch high school football. I watch the NFL. And my favorite is college football because I just feel like they play
I know.
harder, they go harder because they have much more to prove.
That's
Anyway,
true.
if you follow football, you know that Tom Brady has been cheating for a very,
A
very,
very
very,
fucking
very,
long time.
very, very,
Since
very
like the
long time.
birth.
And there is an actual meme of Tom Brady, and I'm gonna try to pull it up here in my library that shows him with all of the rings that he's ever won and how he won each one of them by cheating, right?
Oh
He
man.
has
And I just
Oh.
feel
always
like
cheated.
that goes to show you that the standards in which Richard Sherman has been used, Dream Hampton voice.
Ah.
Richard Sherman, if you read this article, is standing up trying to say, Tom Brady is getting preferential treatment
Mm.
because, no, Tom Brady is being treated unfairly because he's a player where the Patriots organization will
Uh-huh.
only have to pay 1 million. He's being
Yes.
fined 2 million. First of all, Richard Sherman, nobody was talking to you. And you should be mad as hell because this team used some deflated ass
Ooh.
footballs to
Ooh.
cheat you out of a Super Bowl that you almost won and that
Wait,
you
time
should have
out, time
won.
out, time out. Was it Tom Brady's deflated ass footballs that lost that game for Richard Sherman, or was it Sierra's baby stepdaddy throwing the
Stop
ball and
it!
he should have
Stop it!
passed the ball
Stop it! Stop it!
that
Touch
lost that
switch.
Listen,
game?
We're not gonna do that. We're not going there.
all I'm saying is a true competitor is never gonna be like, oh, hey man, it's okay that you cheated and beat me. Anybody that likes to win, like I like to win, if I find out you beat me and you cheated, it's never over, god damn it. Like
So here's
I'm
the
never gonna
thing.
let you live that
I
down. Never. It's never over.
A ridiculous football fan. Jay Cutler is my quarterback. So you know I got a lot of shit to go through
Yeah,
my
you
life.
do.
And
Yes, you do.
Look.
Because
I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm going to talk about what I
no,
need
that's
to
a
talk
bad
about.
team.
Hey.
Sorry.
No, thank you. No, thank you. So, look, we're going to
Shout
stick
out to the
to
Falcons. Shout out to the Falcons.
Well, my quarterback is
I
Cam
was in
Newton.
Atlanta last year for the Falcons game where the Bears played. And
Can y'all see this?
No.
I'm
But
going to tweet it out
hold
right
on.
quick. Hold on. Let me tweet it.
whatever.
Well, Cam Newton is my quarterback, and I'm
Oh,
still
he's so
waiting on
fine.
him.
No one cares about you and your quarterback right now.
Westlake High School. Fila, stand up.
Jennifer talks about me because every week I find a way to bring up me, Cam, and our baby Huey P. Newton.
Damn right.
In
That's
the
just like
show.
I'm gonna bring up Dream every 5 minutes because she ain't shit for what she did. Damn right.
Let her be.
No.
Let her be.
But because you said I'ma listen.
So look, I'm just gonna say this about Tom Brady. Tom Brady is an entitled ass white boy who feels that nothing that he does is going to be punished. And every time he does something, no matter what it is, between him and Deflategate and him and
I have ice cream.
Short sleeves. What's his name? They coach. I can't remember. Anyway, between that shit, those are the two things that they got caught on. There are probably 1.5 million things that they did not get caught on. I am a fan of football. I am a student of football. I know this shit. I know the game back and forth. I don't just root for my favorite team. I know what the fuck is going on in every team, in every league. And Tom Brady is coddled by the NFL. Tom Brady gets a break when other motherfuckers wouldn't, like my quarterback, Jay Cutler. And Tom Brady gets some shit off when the Patriots won in 2001 after 9/11. Don't think that shit was just a fucking accident or a fluke. No, it's the Patriots. It's America's team. Fuck Boston. Fuck New England. Fuck the Patriots. 80 5. I am a Bears fan for fucking life. And when we killed them bitches in 85, 86,
calling them out.
The Patriots can kiss my motherfucking ass. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Liz is being mean, guys.
Tell Liz, like who? Liz who? Liz who?
Liz who was on with you, right? Liz just told me ain't no Huey, bitch.
No, dang.
I am sad. Let my dreams be great, Liz.
Let my dreams be great. Hold on, wait. Retweet her so I can.
I just
reply.
did.
Okay.
Listen, all I'm saying about Tom Brady, and this is the thing, just because I'm about themes and I have to stick to my theme, and y'all will know why when I get my drunk recommendation. But listen, it's hard out here in every arena for black people. Racism exists in every arena, and it doesn't hurt that Tom Brady is beautiful and he's married to a beautiful woman, and they have beautiful kids. All I'm trying to say is white people get retribution where black people don't. White people go out here. Listen, all I'm saying is just stay with the thing. Focus on the thing. All I'm saying is when Ray Rice, Mike Vick, anybody, when Richard Sherman, in fact, let's use him since he was when Richard Sherman was out here yelling at the camera too hard. Y'all had all of these think pieces about how black men are so angry and how we show our aggression. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that if y'all watch SportsCenter. Anyway,
yeah.
Now, how often have y'all heard about Tom Brady cheating?
Right. Tom Brady is a bitch.
Always. Not only did Tom Brady cheat, but they got the same coach that's been caught cheating, been fined.
I can't even think of the coach's name.
Bill Belichick. That's who he is.
Belichick.
Exactly. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady been out here cheating. It ain't nothing new. And if he was black, he would have been banned or suspended indefinitely or whatever else it would have been. and because he white and pretty, and his wife is pretty and his kids pretty,
She ain't pretty. She just white.
he gonna keep winning, and ain't nothing gonna happen to him. And y'all crying about $2 million and $1 million to people who have hundreds of millions of dollars. And I just feel like I don't feel
Caucasian. She is Caucasian. That is
Wait, now Caucasian people can be pretty?
She ain't pretty.
Okay.
I think what she's trying to say is people
She
only
ain't pretty
because she white.
Okay.
She ain't that pretty.
Is that what she was saying?
She ain't that pretty. I know pretty people, and she ain't it.
Okay, I got it.
Well,
Pretty? Beyonce. Beyonce pretty. Beyonce fine as hell.
Yes.
well,
Yes, she is.
I have
And
a
she the
question.
queen.
Just
That's
without
the point.
if you can erase everything that has happened this week, have y'all ever thought Shaun King was white?
No.
I ain't never got him white.
Excuse me. I'll let somebody else start because I don't want to capitalize.
Have y'all ever? No?
I never thought
I don't give a damn if Shaun King is white or black.
Negro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care if he's white or
Yeah,
black.
wait. Did y'all notice how Shayna said, I'm going to let somebody else because I don't want to capitalize, and then she jumped right back in?
I couldn't help it, y'all. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
I never thought he was white, and like Shayna said, I never cared. Like, who cares? As long as because I think I was introduced to him on some hope stuff. I think he was raising money for something.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my Spelman sisters were like contributing and stuff, so that's how I remember him, and I like subscribed to his emails, and that's all I just remember. So no, I never thought he was white, and then I found out he went to Morehouse. So no, I never thought he was white.
White people did go to Morehouse and do go to Morehouse, and
Morehouse had a white valedictorian.
yeah, unfortunately, it was the class.
Never. Hey, watch it. It was 2008.
2000. Oh, that was longer than I thought it was.
Shit, I was grown as shit in 2008.
I wasn't. I was young, tender, wild, and I.
Well, I was wild. I was out of college though.
I'm always the old one on this. That's
okay.
Miss Bond to you said, as a preacher, folks be trying to give me a lap clouse. I take it, fold it up, and place it next to me.
Oh my God, please.
I love that.
Yes, because again, refer to lesson number. I think it was 4.
Deuteronomy
It was
7:3.
5. It was 5. Lesson number 5. I am not here to repress your inappropriate sexual desires. Just because you can't keep your private man parts together, don't mean that I gotta cover up my well moisturized legs in the house of God. Because the Bible say that you're supposed to give God your best. And I'm gonna come dressed in my best. And if you don't like it, or if it make you feel some type of way, then that's what you need to be praying for deliverance from. But I'm definitely not out here trying to cover up because
This
you
is
can't
my
keep your
best.
shit together. No, God.
This is my best. Why can I not give God my best?
Hey now.
Whatever you think is your best is your best, Tony Martin. You your best thing.
Well, did y'all read Sean's essay?
I did.
I read half.
It was heartbreaking.
You know what, Cameron?
Like
Cameron was like, "Yeah, I read half of that because it was just way too long, and I wasn't gonna read all of it."
Shaun, we're here for you, but if you're reading this, just trust me. People aren't that smart; they can't read that much. So you got to condense. Condense.
Was way too personal, and it involved a lot of his
Still condensed. Black
did not
Voice, 3
feel
minutes.
was appropriate. If someone tweeted me, "Isn't it my right to know?"
No, it's not.
Because it's not your right to know. What the fuck? I was so angry at his tweet. I muted him. Twitter's mute feature has the
mute feature
right
is
now.
better.
Do not. I don't believe that anybody's personal life is your right to know. Whether they're
well, this is all I'm saying about it is that I feel that the way that he ended up having to share his story is very unfortunate. But I do believe that even though the devil meant it for evil, it kind of worked out because people got a chance to see that. I don't know. I know you know Kia because you're from Alabama, right?
Uh-huh.
And when we were growing up, even in Atlanta, people have this thing about color, you know, and it was
Yeah.
always a part of the conversation. You know, I remember some of my relatives even telling me like, "Girl, don't go out in that sun because you're gonna get too
Yes.
black." And I would just kind of look
You
at
know
them
what?
like,
And
"Girl, I'm
my
going to
mom,
run. What the?"
I'm raising a
my
I'm
mom
raising
had,
a black, half black because of me, and then her dad is Vietnamese and white, and I will be fucking damned if somebody tells me that my baby isn't black enough for them. Ain't no way in hell. Like, that pisses me off. I am her black ass mama, and
But this
you
is the
have the
thing.
audacity to
you
say
know what?
We have
I'm her black
evolved. We
ass.
have
Growing
evolved to this
up,
point, though. We have
growing
evolved to
up,
this point.
growing up, my mom is a twin. Her twin passed away now. But
Aw.
and my cousin, my mom had two girls. My sister's 2.5 years younger than me, and my mom's twin's oldest son was like 5, 6 years older than me. He was born when I was in kindergarten. We couldn't
Mhm.
go outside and play during the daytime because my mom's twin didn't want him to go out in the sun because he might get darker.
What?
It's real, but
We,
listen.
you know what? Growing up, we
I,
never
I, I
went to
get
the
that
beach.
though.
We
Anyway,
never went to the beach when the
no,
sun was up. We
no,
always had to go to the beach in the evening once the sun
real.
went
Wow.
down.
And so, if you can think about the fact that we are in our 30s, okay,
Yeah,
and we're in
we're not that
places.
far
I was
removed
born
from
in
that.
Atlanta, Georgia, Zone 4, Crawford Lawn Hospital.
Hmm.
Anyway, if you're thinking that we're dealing with these issues, he's from a very small town in Kentucky. I believe he said the population of
Thank
the
you.
town was 6,000. If you're a
Uh-huh.
student of the history of this country, you know what it is like to be involved as a white person, even in 2015, with a person of color in a relationship.
And
Um,
I was fortunate enough to
we
grow
hear
up in
stories,
liberal ass Chicago. Chicago is segregated, but it's still liberal in the
right?
fact
But nah,
that
no. We're talking
you're
about
okay
like
with
people
that.
would die. No, people
But
would die. Like people would kill people's
exactly.
significant others, and people would terrorize these children. So I'm glad that his story was able to bring to the light that racism actually runs as deep as
In the
people
fucking
lying
80s,
on
in
their birth
the 90s.
certificates to protect a child's identity.
My
Because
child
if
is
they
listed as
knew that this
black.
child had any black blood, which if you understand the diaspora, you know that we all have black blood, but these
Yeah.
people in this town with this population of 6,000 were so ignorant that this lady felt like she had to lie about her child as he was fresh out of her womb. Imagine the trauma that comes with that, that you have to lie about your child's existence because you're afraid of what some ignorant racist person will do to them if they find out that you made a choice as a free thinking adult to procreate and have a child.
I just think it's crazy how nothing is sacred and nothing is private anymore. Like social media.
Yeah,
And that's what bothered me so much.
Like
yeah.
All these people demanded to know this
Right.
information from a source that was never credible in the first place. And
That hurt me. That hurt me
and
a lot.
even with his series of tweets, the one thing that came out is that it wasn't about this hit job was never about his race. It was about discrediting him as a person. And even with
Yeah.
this, you still have these people, these black people, who should, through their lived experience, understand what's going on,
And you know
still
what bothers
demand
me
to
so much
know
about that?
what it was, to the point that he has to reveal this story and put his mom on Front Street.
I wrote a
To
blog about that a while ago about having people discredit my child's blackness because she's not black enough. She's light. Her skin, her hair isn't. I have hair that if you need to get it straight, you gonna need to put some perms, some heat. You gonna have to have a whole lot of shit going on. I have the hair from the motherland, and I gave birth. Like, I produced a child who is
Wait a
fair
minute. Who
skinned.
has crickets in their house? What the hell is that?
I'm outside, boo. I'm outside because I'm having a cigar.
Okay,
But
carry on, carry on. I was like, is
so
that
I
my
gave birth to a child who is very fair, fine, thin hair, and I will be damned if somebody tells her that she's not black enough. And I wrote a blog about it because I was so pissed because someone told me I made a joke after a Super Bowl. The Steelers were playing, and my baby was running around with her hair flying all over the place. And I said, she looks like Troy Polamalu. And someone says, ooh, do you want a cookie? Bitch, I'm describing my child's fucking hair. Like, you mad? And that pissed me the fuck off because I have a child who has to deal with people saying she's not black enough, people saying that
in 2015, it is 2015.
Thank you. And I was so mad. I'm like, she's black. Her mama black, therefore she's black. I am the only parent. I am raising her in this like shroud of blackness, and you got the audacity to call my baby shit out because she not black enough for you. Here's that middle finger, bitch.
So here's my question, because, and I even noticed this when the Oprah documentary Light Skin was on, that when we talk about colorism, we always talk about it from one perspective.
Yep.
Which is a valid perspective. And I think,
but it's not the only perspective.
It's not the only perspective.
You light skin, therefore you think you better. And I got a lot of shit as somebody who wasn't necessarily light skinned, but lighter than. Like,
well,
my dad is black and natty.
And I think you have to acknowledge that lighter skin is closer to whiteness and therefore often more accepted. But within our culture, we also have to acknowledge that colorism goes both ways.
Yes, and let me say this. The reason that let me say this. The reason that I initiated the conversation from that perspective is because I try not to speak about perspectives that are not my own. And I learned at Spelman College in ADW that you have to create a space for everyone's perspective to be welcome, and that every experience is valid, and that nobody's hurt is worse than anybody else's hurt when it comes to something as senseless and divisive as racism, right? So I'm not just saying that colorism only exists from my end of the spectrum. I just wanted to say that I can only talk about what I've experienced, and that's not to say that anyone else from another perspective hasn't experienced equal hurt or even worse hurt. But I was simply trying to point out that Shaun King had to tell a story about his mother making a choice at his birth to lie about who he was because she feared for his life because of a thing called racism. And if you can't see that as the underlying message, then you're in the way. And I need you to sit down and shut the fuck up. Because we out here trying to free people.
True.
And Shaun King, no matter what you think he has done or what he has done or what he is doing or whatever, he's in his lane trying to free folk. And if you are concerned about the 700 American citizens who have lost their lives to police brutality and domestic terrorism, then you don't care if Shaun King is white or black because he's out here doing, in the words of Auntie Iyanla, the work. And so, you know, the fact that this lady had to lie about her son should say enough to us about his story. It's horrible.
And you know what, though? If you look at his mentions, because the first thing I saw him tweet today was about another guy who had been killed in police custody, and he had been killed during a traffic stop, and there weren't going to be any charges pressed. This guy had his hands up. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering because I am kind of drunk. My glass is empty.
Yeah, like I don't know if y'all saw me take this cup to the head, and I got this cup.
Yeah.
I'm moved on to a cigar at this point. I'm done.
But if you look at his mentions, he's constantly being attacked by white people. And it has nothing to do with his story. It is legitimate just harassment.
Hate. It's hate.
And what bothers me is that we bought into this harassment.
I have not bought into it.
And we joined them.
So here's the thing.
But as a collective, we have though.
As a collective, we have. And I refuse to accept the whole, well, he did this wrong. And I will not accept people throwing out a negative about him with no evidence. Because right now, honestly, that's the shit that's happening to me. People have thrown out negative shit with no evidence and saying, hey, disprove it. And he's forced to disprove the negative ass shit that's said about him when he is constantly doing the right thing. And he may have fucked up along the way, and he may have done things that are not the way it should have been done. But for the most part, he's advocating for the end of white supremacy. He is advocating for the exposure of police brutality. He is advocating for a lot of things that are positive in the black community. And people are saying, well, what about that money you stole in Haiti? Or what about that, not Haiti, I'm sorry, but what about the money you stole from Tamir Rice? But if you read, you would realize that, like, read the whole fucking story. What, is this mine? Somebody brought me a beer. It might not be mine, but I'm going to drink it anyway. Hey! But what I'm saying is, it's so easy to attack with a negative of some shit that's unfounded and then make the person, hey, prove that you're right. And he's proving shit that's just like wrong, and it pisses me off. I don't know him. I don't know shit about him, but I know that he has been every day having to do his job as an activist and then prove this shit that some random ass person said is wrong.
And at the end of the day, he is a human being. He's a human being, just like Netta is a human being. And the shit that you say to him hurts, whether he's black, white, brown, or purple. And this man that had to recount his mama's sexual history for you fools on Twitter to still at the end of the 3,000-word essay, at the end of the 6,000 words, y'all still said the same thing that you were saying about him before. And that's the thing about people like Don Lemon and all of these other people who are so thirsty for a damn story that they just report whatever. What happened to checking your sources? What happened to primary sources?
Nobody checks sources anymore. You're going back to the damn 90s. Nobody checks sources anymore.
That's what bothered me about the whole thing. If you trace the source of this story back to its origin, it traces back to racism. And it's seeing that, and acknowledging that, and even listening to the people who have known Shaun, who went to school with him, who have known him before Twitter, say, I know him as this. You choose to go with the racists who say, who the guy tweeted today, well, we helped bring healing to his family, so I'm glad we printed the story. Like, what kind of bullshit is that?
Like, don't sit here and try to take credit for that. Like, don't be a Judas and then expect praise for it. Like, come on, really? Really? Come on, don't do that.
And that's the thing, is that the problem is that no matter what he said, people were going to still say the same things that they were saying about him before the article. And so, you know, at the end of the day, either you give a damn or you don't. If you give a damn, just raise your hand so you can get out my way, because I'm out here trying to free these kids, and you should be out here trying to free us in whatever your lane is. Just like Shaun is freeing us 1,6,000 words at a time, and one tweet at a time. Shaun is letting these people know what's happening to us, and my students are following him on Twitter. He's doing the right thing. And so that's
like one of my parents saying my kid can't be in this butcher's classroom because once upon a time she smoked weed that one time back then. Like, I'm still able to educate your child. I'm still able to successfully bring your child from a non-reader to a reader in 1 year, and not even 1 year, in like 9 months. Seriously, like, don't discredit my personal life for what I do in my professional life. My personal life, my professional life are two different places.
Wow.
And whatever happened with him and his mama and what he was doing, don't compare it to Rachel Dolezal. The bitch fucking lied. She was lying about being black. He's not lying about being black. His daddy was black. I have a friend who is, his mama is white, his daddy is black, who had a whole bunch of happy kids with a whole bunch of white women, and he has a baby by a white person. This baby is light-skinned, blue-eyed, but his daddy is black. Like, don't discredit anything that he's done because you don't like his complexion. No, I'm not. I'm not here with that because my baby's complexion is light enough where you could complain, oh, she's not black enough, and her hair isn't kinky enough where you can complain, oh, she's not black enough, but she black as hell. She is my black ass child, and I am her black ass mama, and that's the end. I'm not explaining that shit anymore. You have a problem with it? Fuck yourself, because I'm not explaining it.
Is everybody all right, Jesus? What the happened? Oh, God. Plead the blood.
What the hell just happened?
You probably forgot something in her kitchen.
That's probably. We supposed to be talking about.
Do we need to call the authorities?
Kia, what are we supposed to be talking about next? Let's move on.
Y'all, I've been cooking chicken for like 3 hours. I thought,
Kia, you know you should not be cooking no chicken for No. Where is Dio? Where is Dio?
No, I thought Cameron turned it off before we started the show.
I told y'all.
And went upstairs.
Don't blame Cameron.
No, because the last time you was cooking chicken, at 6:30 in the morning. First of all, let me tell y'all I love following Kia on Twitter because she's so damn real. Kia was frying chicken for her fucking lunch at 6 o'clock in the damn morning. What type of backwoods Alabama? We ain't going on a church picnic this morning. What kind of shit is that? Kia is frying the chicken, y'all, and the grease that almost popped up and hit Kia on the face.
Me in the eye.
See what I'm saying? And it injured her eye. So, y'all, don't let her blame this on Cam. This is just Kia don't know how to fry the damn chicken, and that's fine.
No, I wasn't frying it. It was in the oven. I have chicken and baked potatoes in the oven.
Ooh, mess up chicken in the oven.
And I was supposed to turn it off before the show started. I was thinking Cameron turned it off, but I kept smelling something, and I was like, what the hell am I smelling? The chicken was still on. So we'll see what it looks like once the show ends. I want to pick the chicken to show you guys the disaster of whatever is in the oven. I don't know. I didn't even look. I just turned the oven off.
Damn. You done messed up the chicken? It's burnt?
I don't know. I'm afraid.
What are we talking about next?
Somebody.
Compton school districts. 8 students in Compton are suing the school districts. They are basically saying that their community has caused them, their living conditions at home and in their community have caused them to have trauma issues. And that instead of the school attending to their trauma issues, they have been punished for the outbursts that have caused their trauma issues. And they talk about like students being held back, students being suspended, kicked out of school, instead of provided with help because their behavior in school was, instead of them just being badly behaved students, their behavior was a result of their trauma. So the lawsuit is trying to get these trauma issues labeled as a disability, so these students would be able to have an IEP like Mike Epps had, have an individual education plan that provided them with the assistance that they needed to be successful in the classroom.
Can I start? I would like to start.
Go ahead.
I would like to start. PSTD, post-traumatic PTSD. There we go. I'm going to get these letters right.
Yes.
It is diagnosable disorder. Students, children who are affected by it have a diagnosable disorder. I have taught students as young as kindergarten who have diagnosable disorders, whether they want to have IEPs or not. As an educator, I have had to accommodate students, whether they have an IEP or not, with these disorders. I have had students who their father said they were going to come on Friday and they didn't see them. Or on Monday, I have to deal with their...
Okay, wait, and just for a point of reference, raise your hand if you're an educator or you volunteer with children and that has been your experience? Raise your hand.
I am a full-ass educator with a
Right.
degree in
Okay.
education
Oh,
and a
we all are. We
half
all
degree.
are. We
So
all
we are
are.
all very
Yes.
capable of
That's the point I'm
speaking
making.
of this. I
Exactly.
have taught for 7 years on the west side of Chicago. And if you know anything about Chicago, the west side of Chicago is a community
Real as
that is
fuck.
that is that is engulfed in poverty, that is engulfed in violence, that is like for the most part is the poor of the poor. And I have had to deal with students on Monday morning who have had their classmates gunned down, who have had their fathers incarcerated, who have had their mothers incarcerated. Trauma is real. Trauma affects their learning. Trauma affects how they are able to succeed from even kindergarten and first grade. So if you like, it's real. I saw those babies when they were babies. And to not consider it anything other than an IEP, because I am the educator that I am, I teach each student to their individual level. I say, hey, child one, you are having this issue. Let me figure out how to maintain your issue and still teach you. Child two, so in a classroom of 30 kids, I have had to deal with 30 issues.
That's real.
30 complete different issues. I don't have an aide. I don't have anybody helping me out. I have had to deal with kids without the assistance of an IEP, of a 504 plan. A 504 plan is a medical plan who says this kid has whatever medical issue. I've had kids who have complete medical issues that have contributed to their lack of learning, and I've just had to deal with it without a 504 plan. So the things that are put upon teachers in poor communities is some bullshit. And we're all special ed teachers. If you teach in a poor community, you are a special ed teacher.
If you teach in any community, if you teach in any community,
special ed teacher,
any community, no matter if it's privileged or not.
You are a special ed teacher because I was taught to individualize instruction no matter what. I taught in a decent suburb, a middle class suburb in the south suburbs of Chicago, and I still had to individualize instruction to everyone because everyone had their different issues. No matter if your parents had a whole bunch of money, you still had some bullshit going on in your house, and I still had to deal with it every single time. And that's the point of education. And what I don't want to say my white colleagues don't know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing because they don't.
Wait a minute.
No, you know what though? There was also I saw a tweet. I'm not gonna say it was a study because I can't remember clicking the link, but they talked about how black teachers have higher expectations of black students.
I retweeted that shit.
Oh, yeah. It's called self-fulfilling prophecies. Self-fulfilling prophecies. If my teacher believes that I will succeed over 90% of the time, the student is shown to be more successful. And because there is an underrepresentation of African American teachers in this nation, particularly in underprivileged communities, and especially when we start to talk about higher levels of academia, we are grossly underrepresented. And therefore, that's why you have the notion that white teachers don't know what they're doing. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. It's because they don't have a shared experience that helps them to empathize with the community that they're teaching. And so when you have a person, it's the same thing as police. It's the same thing as police. When you have a group of people who are governing a body who do not have the shared experience of that body, it is not to say that those individuals are not capable of being effective in those roles. It's simply to say that they need some other specialized training so that they can be sensitized in the ways that I am naturally sensitized because of my experience. And that's the thing that I think these allies need to understand, is that you just can't say I care about black people and that makes you a protester or an activist or so you know.
And you know what? Long before I started teaching, back when I was in high school, middle school, whenever it was, I loved the movie Dangerous Minds. But
Right.
every white teacher who goes into an urban school is not whatever her name. Michelle Pfeiffer is the one. Is not Michelle
So
Pfeiffer in Dangerous Mind.
what happens with white teachers is that they think they have black students' best interests at heart, but they don't know what their interests are. You do not understand what it is to be a black student. So therefore, you can never understand what my best interests are. I will tell a story.
And that's not, and I just want to say that I want to be clear and go on the record and say, what are you saying, Shayna? Because again, I'm thinking unlike Dream Hampton about my professional goals. I'm not saying that our white counterparts are not capable. I'm saying that it is a consistent work that they have to do, and it starts with building trust and building relationships and creating a space.
Understanding what black students need. They don't understand what black students need.
And no matter what, lesson 10, what you've read, what you've heard, and what you've witnessed does not trump my experience. That's what they get messed up.
You cannot come in with the white savior syndrome. You have to respect these kids as living human beings who have feelings and thoughts, and who are people as their own. You are not just sent there to rescue them.
Right.
You are there to respect them as people and help guide them through. Respect their feelings, their experiences, and their journeys, and help guide them through. Don't just regard who they are or how they are. And
so random story.
You want
and think you know because you read 35 think pieces that you know about the community because you read some statistics. And black people guilty of this shit too. Unfortunately, we become so out of touch, some of us, and we see it all the time at Spelman. Young ladies come into Spelman and they have no idea what it's like for someone like Morgan to grow up in Baltimore. Just like I don't have any experience what it's like for you to grow up in PG County and go to a boarding school. And so, you know, we have to recognize in the same vein that we have to create a space for everybody to tell their story. And just because you read something about me don't mean that you know what I'm talking about. So yes, these children, they need more mental health in schools anyway. When their own classmates die, y'all know that we've all worked in schools, I'm assuming, where one of our students unfortunately either has been killed or has lost their lives. And you will see that these school systems, they send in one counselor for 3,000 students for one day. If you've ever lost somebody that you care about, you know that it takes more than one day of somebody caring about you enough to speak to you about it for you to be healed from it or for you to feel like you can move forward. And children, we know psychologically, are even more delicate than adults, right? So why aren't we talking about #suggestions for Hillary? Why aren't we talking about implementing more mental health programs into public schools where children experience this type of trauma on a regular basis?
So real simple.
Our school counselors required
I had kids who
Jennifer, you had a story.
I had kids who were we were teaching them how to write as they speak. And in Chicago, FA is FOR. This is for him. This is for her. Like that's what that means.
We say that too.
Is the number 4. This is I have faux shoes. I have faux toys. And I was talking to my colleagues and they couldn't figure out FU and FO. And I'm like, yes, they're homonyms in English, in standard English, but in the black vernacular, those are 2 different words. But and faux are 2 different things, and nobody got it but me. And I'm like, these are things that you all need to know. Faux is the number 4. Fa is the FOR. Like the FOR. What is that?
The preposition.
Preposition. Thank you.
Yeah.
They could not figure that out. And when I explained the difference between the 2, they're like, oh shit, I didn't know. And I'm like, these are the things that you need to know. I am able to speak a sentence and like, I have faux shoes for him, and they couldn't get it. And I was like, this is what you need to understand how to teach black students, and they
And the
clearly
thing
didn't.
Actually, that's
And
and
that's
the
why
key
black
is,
students need black teachers, because
well,
I
no, that's
understand
actually a
this.
form of sociolinguistics. I have my master's in second language acquisition, and one of the things that we talk about is how black children are bidialectical, right? Just like a lot
Very
of
much
other
so.
cultures, we speak one language at home, and we speak another language professionally, and we speak another language when we're with our friends, and we speak another language in church, and
All
that
the
our
time.
languages, sort of match our social situations. And for a very long time, scholars have been arguing that some of the same tools that we give students who are acquiring English from other languages, such as Spanish, French, Portuguese, etc., should be given to black children who
They should
which
be.
goes back to
and
the
the problem
90s.
is that, yep, and the problem is that ebonics is seen as this
Yeah,
this disrespectful thing, right?
It's
yeah.
Again,
not.
that racism that bleeds into everything.
Mhm.
Right.
Patois can be seen as a vernacular. You have French Creole that's respected as another language. But when we talk about the black vernacular, or when we talk about ebonics, that's a made up language, and it doesn't have any
It's
rules, which
not.
is
It's
completely
not
a
a
lie.
made up
Which is
language.
which is
So
completely a lie, right? And
adding
so
B in
it
front
it just
of,
goes back to racism.
and
So, and
so
I
like
think,
the whole thing of adding like B, it I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
do
do
things
that a
like the
lot.
whole be, the
Yes,
With
verb to be
me,
yes.
added
me
in
with
front of it.
all my
It directly
degrees.
descended from our ancestors. It
Yeah,
is directly descended from Western African languages, where you need a helping verb in front of an active, like it
and you know
works.
what?
We know
I
what
have
we're doing.
me with all my degrees. I have a master's in professional writing, but I love the word be, and I had to check myself, like, why do you always use this?
Because it is
And
what you are from. It is what you are supposed to use. That
yeah,
is, even if you use other languages. And what bothers me is that the black vernacular, which descends directly from Western African languages, is not seen as relevant as, for instance, French or
but you know
Arabic
what? And
or
you know
any
what?
Spanish. No, our language
We
is
kind of
legit,
did.
and we have patterns. There are patterns to our shit.
Yes.
And when
Yeah.
white people try to say, I be doing this, you're using it wrong, because we know how to use it and you're not using it correctly. You think that I be, you cannot use that helping verb in front of the active verb ever if you're not using it correctly. There are correct patterns to using it, and people think, oh, because you black, you using it wrong. No, no,
But I have
I
a
speak it
question.
correctly.
Isn't some of that our fault? Because I go back to
Mm.
the 90s when in California schools they tried to bring in the whole Ebonics movement
Yeah, I
so
remember
that they
that.
could teach
I
kids.
remember that.
But we were offended that they would say that we spoke this broken English.
It was
Right.
We as
not
black
broken
people were.
English.
No,
I was
I
never
agree.
offended.
I agree, but that's what we said. As you know, as black middle class black people, we were offended that you would call the language we were speaking Ebonics and not standard English language, instead of just owning that we have our own vernacular.
Respectability.
We
It's
thought it
all
was
about
it was.
respectability.
It went back to respectability and feeling less than because of the way we
I was
talk.
a victim. I admit that I was, hey, speak proper English, but I learned through my years of teaching that,
Yeah.
hey, you speak to me, your instructor, your teacher, in formal English, because I am your teacher. And I learned that from learning French and learning Spanish, that there is a formal language that you speak to formal situations, and there is an informal language that you speak to your friends. Like the way that I speak to my friends is not the way that I speak when I'm interviewing my candidates. The way that I speak to my students. My students, they
Well,
know when I'm mad, when I'm speaking to them like they mamas, they understand the difference between Miss
yes,
Fletcher is
yeah,
teaching me and Miss Fletcher is like admonishing me. Those are two different
yeah,
languages, and they know that those
yeah.
are two different ways that I'm speaking to them. When I came and picked them up from lunch, and I'm like, what were y'all doing? They knew y'all was Miss Fletcher's, like, hey, you in trouble. But when I was speaking to them in the classroom, it was you all. I was able to differentiate between my formal language and my informal language.
Right.
And those are appropriate. It's okay to have formal and informal. And I had a professor tell me that it is not appropriate to correct a student's English. And
Yes.
I let her ass have it. I was like, the day that a kid is not able to get a job because you have not taught them that there is a difference between informal and formal language is the day that you fucked up as an educator.
But why does my vernacular have to be considered informal? And that's the thing.
So here's the thing. It is informal. It is the way that we speak amongst our peers. There is a standard English that everyone knows. There is an informal language that is between us. When I was in Puerto Rico and I was speaking informal Spanglish to the Puerto Ricans there, they understood what I was saying. I understood that what they were saying. They considered me one of them. But when we dropped all of that to speak formal English, it was real formal. It has nothing to do with what's right or what's wrong, but what's appropriate in that situation and what's inappropriate. When I am you, like talking to you as a consumer and you are giving me a product, we are formal. But when I'm like, hey girl, it's hey girl. It's okay to be informal. Like, it is okay to have informal conversations with people. It is okay to have formal conversations with people, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with noticing the difference between tú and usted. Like, those are both you. The tú is, hey, you my friend, but usted is, hey, you are my boss. Those are two different words.
Yeah.
In Spanish. Those are two different words that mean the same thing.
I'm glad you brought that up because Spanish taught me more about language and conjugation than English ever taught me.
And that's because
I know French and Spanish to be able to say,
and that's because English is one of the newest languages in the world. Exactly. And not only that, English has borrowed from every language that has come before it, and that's why people who try to acquire English, that's why people who try to acquire English have such a hard time, and that's why when you study the formation of the English language, you learn that it, like every other social construct in this country, is rooted in racism, and it is for that reason that Black children think that their Ebonics or that their home language or the dialect that they speak with their friends or the dialect that they speak in church is inappropriate in a professional setting.
I tell my babies that you can say so at home. Don't say for it.
Words and phrases in professional environments, and they're not punished for it. They can code switch, and they are not punished. They are not looked upon as less intelligent. They are not considered inappropriate, and that's the thing. Until we start to work in our lanes to try to eradicate this social construct of racism, then we're gonna. For me, it means that Black children are gonna not get what they need. And as an educator,
but we need more Black teachers for that. Because if we have white teachers saying to kids, "Oh, you're wrong," or accepting informal language as formal, then we're not doing our job. If we have Black teachers saying, "Hey, baby, you know what? You can say fo to your mom, but I am your teacher. You need to say for to me. You need to say door to me. But when you get home, that's the do. That's the ka. That's like, you can say that when you're informal, when you're talking to your peers, when you're talking to people in familiar languages. But when you get in a job interview, it is a car. It is a door. It is the store. That is the floor. Like, there needs to be a distinction, and I feel that white teachers are not telling our children, hey, there is a distinction. They're either allowing their children, their students, to say whatever they want and thinking that that's okay because I love everyone, or they're saying, hey, it's only for, there is no value in you saying oh. That's where there's a problem. I taught my kids that there is a value in both languages, because I promise you, when I'm talking to my friends, I am speaking in a vernacular that has nothing to do with the same way that I would speak if I'm conducting an interview or if I'm talking in a professional environment. When I am presenting to my peers a professional development, I'm speaking professionally. But when I'm talking to our friends, the same people that I presented to 2 minutes ago professionally, and we having a drink, I promise you, I'm saying fold the, stole the, like I am speaking the way that I speak. And what we need to establish is that it's acceptable to speak two different languages. You are okay. The same way that you can speak Spanish and English, the same way that you can speak French and English, you can speak the black vernacular and English and know both languages, because our language has a power. Our language it exists. It's okay to say, man, I'm about to go to the store. And be okay with about to go to the store. I'm going to the liquor store to get something. That's okay. That is perfectly okay when I'm talking to my friends. But if I'm talking to my colleagues, yes, I'm going to the store to get a fifth of whatever. That's okay too. You can.
Is it bad that I only speak in Ebonics when I talk to people who know that I know how to speak English? Is that bad? Like I won't, like if I'm talking to somebody who I know normally speaks that way and that's how they speak, I speak proper English as an example of how I should speak. But I'm talking to my friends who have degrees. Those are the ones I speak crazy with, because I mean, you know.
And I think that goes back to the respectability and us feeling like we have to prove that I know this.
Because we do.
Yeah. And I think as much as we fight against no respectability politics for me, there is still, I mean, it's just ingrained in us.
And not only that, it's not ingrained, but we have to have it to be successful in our particular environment.
We should.
Because even if
proper English is okay. It's okay.
But what is proper English? And nobody is saying that proper English is not okay. All I'm saying is the idea that improper English exists is a problem, because America
it's not improper though. I don't see it as improper. I see it as another language. I see it as when I say, yeah, he be getting on my nerves. That's not improper. He do be getting on my nerves. He does. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't say it like if I'm speaking to a colleague about, because I was in HR, I can say to a colleague when I'm writing up an evaluation, he displays these activities. But to my friend, I'm like, man, that motherfucker get on my nerves so hard. Like, I can say that to a friend, but to a colleague, this person displays these actions that, like, it's okay to have two different sets of languages. It's okay. And I don't think that we say it's okay enough.
To wrap up this conversation, I just want to say I really hope that this lawsuit is successful, because it can change the way urban schools are ran all across the United States.
And when I come my black ass back to Chicago and I'm teaching urban students, and I don't want to say urban, when I'm teaching my little Negro students and my little Latino students, I hope that
that was better.
their experiences. Yo, when you are sitting in your house and police officers come into your house and take away your father, I want that to be an experience that you are able to say, I was not able to cope with it. Please help me through it. And I want students to have an IEP for the fact that their cousin was killed in front of them. I need that to be an IEP. Like, I cannot cope with this, and I need those students to have help.
So that when they have their outbursts, they aren't suspended, they aren't kicked out of school, they aren't sent to alternative school. They receive the help that they need so that they can still get the education that they need and go out into the community and be productive citizens who make this world a better place.
Who on Friday were so excited about their daddies coming to pick them up that weekend. So excited. My daddy's coming to get me. Ooh, my daddy. Yay, my daddy. And then on Monday, they are throwing tantrums, throwing my damn manipulatives all across the room like, what the fuck? Because their daddy didn't come get them.
Yeah.
I need that to be a diagnosable. I need
trauma.
that to be diagnosed.
It's a trauma.
Yeah, because having to deal with the trauma of having an inconsistent parent is a trauma. It's traumatic. That is what I'm dealing with personally, that my child has a fucked up ass daddy who may show up, he may not. And I've had students who've had parents who may show up and may not. And on Friday, they geeked up about their daddy coming to get them, and they taking them to Chuck E. Cheese and all that shit. And on Monday, they like kicking book bags and stealing pencils and shit. I need to have the tools to deal with that. We're saying, hey, I have a child who has an absentee parent. I need to deal with that trauma. I need that to be able to cope with that child, to have a psychologist on hand saying, hey, his daddy didn't show up. Come get him. Talk to him about that shit. We don't deal with that shit appropriately with children, and we should, because if 50% of the marriages end in divorce, there is a very likely chance that one of your students will have a father who don't show up the weekend that they're supposed to, no matter if they're white, black, poor, rich, whatever. Somebody's daddy ain't coming this weekend. And it's not because they're black, it's because that's the way that society happens. Daddies ain't showing up. Mamas ain't showing up. Parents aren't doing their job, and kids are affected by it. And I have a personal relationship with deadbeat ass parents, but I also have a relationship with students who have deadbeat parents, and I know how that affects my week. I promise you, I will have a lesson planned, and I have to change a whole entire lesson because I got to deal with little Jimmy who's throwing shit across my classroom because he's mad because his daddy didn't come to get him.
Well, for me, it would be something completely different. I'm one of those people who, I guess I wouldn't have my kid in a public school where it would be, but I don't know. Like for me, that's a private issue that shouldn't be involved with their public education.
But it doesn't matter whether it's public or private. Your child's actions it doesn't matter. If your kid's father is supposed to pick them up on Saturday and they don't, and then on Monday, their kid, whether I taught in the hood and I taught in an affluent suburb of Chicago, same shit, no matter what. I've had kids, my daddy didn't come get me, and they acted a fucking fool in my classroom.
And I guess it goes down to when whatever is happening at home, privately, in the community, starts affecting your ability to be educated in the school system. Should you be punished, or is it the school system's responsibility, the public school system specifically? But even private schools have to follow these, basically, I don't know the formal terminology, but basically it's the rules, the federal mandates for disabilities. The Federal Disability Acts, I believe even private schools are required to provide these accommodations and things. But is your trauma a disability to the point where the school is responsible for helping you to receive this education?
Absolutely is. Students are mandated in the United States of America. Students are mandated from 6 years old to 16 years old to be in school. So whatever happens to them between those years, we have to deal with. And if I have a 6-year-old child who is affected by the fact that their parent does not do what they're supposed to, I have to deal with it. And schools need to be better prepared to deal with this shit. If 50% of marriages end in divorce, you have 50% of your kids who don't have a daddy or who don't have a mama. You got to deal with that shit, or else you cannot teach. I cannot teach my kids if I got kids running around because they mad because their daddy didn't show up this weekend. It's life, and schools do not deal with that shit. I promise you, if we did not have to deal with that shit, teaching would be a lot easier. So,
Morgan, Last word, and then we're gonna go into the drunk recommendations.
Oh man.
Drunk
Last word on
recommendation.
what though? Last word
On
on
this, on this. I thought you had something to say.
I do, because I just feel like, because I'm one of those people that I think government and school is a part of government, and school is a part of the
Mhm.
systematic oppression of our people, and I feel like the public school system is used as a ploy and a pawn to control us and control our minds. So for you to say, like, if I'm having a personal or a private issue and my kid is affected by it, in my opinion, that's the social worker or the counselor's job to bring the kid to me as the parent, and I deal with it with my private doctor. I don't want the school system knowing about that. I
And
don't want it negatively affecting how. Like, no, that's not even the teacher's business. Mind your business. Don't.
and you know what?
But it is my business
I
because it
completely
affects how I
understand.
teach.
I completely understand what you're saying from a responsible parent's perspective, but the reality of the situation is a lot of these kids are coming to school with these issues, and they don't have parents who either know or care. And I think it's a combination of the both. I don't want to say that all parents don't care, and
Appreciate it.
but it's because some parents, it's ignorance. It's just that they don't know how to handle this. And at that point, if the school does not intervene, who is going to save this child? Who is going to keep this child from just
The damn
flailing in the
teacher.
wind? So I completely understand what you're saying. My business is my business at home, and it's
And
my
that's
job to take
because
care of my kid. But every parent does not have the
no.
ability to handle this.
And that's also because school counselors are overworked, school social
Oh
workers
yeah,
are overworked, underpaid, and so where a lot of them would like to be able to do the types of things that we're saying that a school should do, they simply can't because of the workload that's on them. They have too much to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my
So
final word on that one.
so drunk recommendations. What do y'all have?
Oh man, drunk recommendations. I think you should go first, Shayna, or formerly known as ST.
Well, my drunk recommendation based on today's theme is this. Listen, to date, over 700 American citizens have been killed by police. Um, this is a problem in our country. It can happen to any of us. If you've been following this, you know that people have lost their lives and they follow all the rules. People have lost their lives and they've broken the law. People have lost their lives and they've gone to college. People have lost their lives and they've been old. People have lost their lives and they've been young. It doesn't matter. It can happen to you. And so, whatever your area of expertise is, whatever area you have been trained in, whatever arena you are learning in, use it to resist right now. There are no excuses. There are no waiting periods. There are no problems that are bigger. If you have a platform, you should be using it to spread this message. Because until this nation begins to deal with racism, as you've heard on this show, it's going to continue to affect every single facet of our life. It affects education. It affects the food we eat. It affects the way we drive. It affects the way we can live, the way we're paid. Racism has bled into every area of our lives, and we need everybody doing their part individually to fix it. So, my drunk recommendation is civilwrongsbrand.com. I'm wearing their t-shirt at civilwrongsbrand.com, like civil rights, civil wrongs. This company, their motto is uniform of the conscious. And they have a number of clothing items that represent people who are like-minded. Like-minded meaning you have a problem with the fact that black people are being killed by police and you want to do something about it. Put on the t-shirt. Use it as a talking piece. Whatever your platform is, use it to resist. Find a way to get folks talking about racism so that we can dispel this hate, so that these babies can grow up and be who they are destined to be.
She said it all right there.
She did. You
Yeah,
got a drunk recommendation, Morgan?
man. No, she said everything. No, she really did. Like she's everything. I'm not even gonna attempt or try to add anything to what she said. I'm just going to piggyback off of what she said in true ADW fashion. The website is www.civilwrongsbrand.com, and we have, like she said, a lot of items available now. And we're inspiring people to act. We're not just wearing T-shirts and walking around and being cute. The whole goal is to inspire people to learn more about our history, and of course, and to employ your current skill set. You know, if you're a pastor, what are you preaching about? How are you inspiring the people to act?
Yes.
You know, if you're a teacher, how are you disseminating the information to younger children? Or if you teach preschool, how are you allowing them to understand and to dispel certain myths at that level? You know, if you are, a truck driver, or a business owner, what type of other businesses or vendors are you working with? So whatever your arena is or whatever your venue is, work in that arena and use your arena and your skill set to resist. So everything she said, 100%. So yeah.
That was
my drunk recommendation.
Jennifer, what do you have?
I am, after deciding that me and my daughter were going to move to Dubai and learn about other cultures, I have learned about all of these tools and all of these means to get out of where you live and what you do and everything about your immediate space and to learn about other spaces. The United States is 50 states, and the majority of people who live in the U.S. have never been to more than 4 states and in their immediate area. And what my drunk recommendation is to explore the U.S. What happens in Chicago is different than what happens in Phoenix, than LA, than, Iowa as a state. I implore people to explore the 50 states of the U.S. because we are a diverse nation. You go to one state, like I call it pop, y'all call it cold drink, soda, whatever. We put salt and pepper in our grits, y'all put sugar. Like, there is so much diversity in the U.S. as a nation that people don't understand. They think we're all Americans, but we're not all Americans. We are so diverse. So what I implore people to do is to utilize sites like Flight Deal and Expedia and all of those different travel sites to explore outside of where they live, because you may say, yeah, I got my passport and I've been to all of these places, but I want people to explore outside of where they live.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Are you what the hell? I love this show. This is why I love the Real Drunk Show, because you never know what's gonna happen. You never know.
I'm in my drunk. You can join in and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Started at 8 o'clock.
We're on. Let's get it.
Every night at
Nah. Let's start over.
10:22 and Ricky
22.
Yes, Ricky, what's up? Welcome.
Let me finish my drunk recommendation before you jump in and say whatever you got to say. All I want to say is explore your own before you worry about passports to other nations, because in the U.S., it is diverse. You may think you know. I had a friend from L.A. who had no clue that every Latino in Chicago was not Mexican, because she was from L.A. and everybody's from Mexico. And I'm like, no.
Everybody in LA is not from Mexico. What?
Look, she ain't know. So, look, what I'm saying is you need to understand that in the United States, we have our country as the U.S. is huge. Explore it, learn it, know what the hell you're dealing with, because there's a lot to understand and know about what's going on in Boston and what's going on in Chicago and what's going on in Minneapolis and St. Louis and Atlanta and Chicago and everywhere. So explore your country. Know what's going on in your whole country. Don't think, oh, we got to pray for these people in Chicago or in Atlanta and Chicago without ever being there. Set foot into your whole country before you call yourself Parisian to people who live in these places. Chicago, U.S. is diverse. Learn it. You got this vast wasteland of places. Understand it. That's it.
All right, Ricky, you get the last word. You get to say whatever you want to about
What
whatever
up?
we talked about because I mean you just showed up.
Yes, welcome, Ricky. Shit, better late than never. Let these people know.
Listen,
Ricky, are
so
you there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you.
So first, I want to encourage everyone to give your tithes and offerings to the Get Money Missionary Baptist Church,
Oh Jesus! Come on, Creflo. Let's hear
because
Creflo.
we're not doing these little jets like Creflo. We're trying to purchase a spaceship because
Come on,
they
Jesus.
need people
Yay,
for the space.
glory.
Uh,
Yes.
we're taking the limits off
We're going
Jesus,
to the
so you take the limits off those
bars in this
wallets.
Yes, take the limits off Jesus. Yes.
This is so funny.
We're
Oh
taking
man.
the limits off Jesus. You take the limits off that
Off the
wallet.
wallet.
Amen.
Okay, so I have a
Amen.
question for you,
Junior.
Ricky. How do you feel
What's,
about lap cloths?
how do I feel about who?
Lap cloths.
Do you know what that is?
Uh, I do. Let me tell you. So, I don't infringe on anyone's rights to
Hey,
wear a
glory.
lap cloth,
Hey.
but I know sometimes uh, it's always been my thing. Like if I have a first lady, I kind of want her to sit on the front row and not wear a lap cloth. So I'm encouraged to hasten to my clothes so I can get on
Hey,
back to the house.
hey, God. Hey, glory. You better
Uh,
use it to your advantage. This is what I'm saying.
hey, listen, you don't have to
Use
be up
what
there all
God
day
gave
to
you.
have a message that's everlasting. So, I'm not trying to be up there all day. I'm trying to get
That's
in and
funny.
out, and
Yes,
uh
amen.
Hey now.
and hopefully I will never ever dress like Bishop Eddie Lee Long
Oh,
in that
Jesus.
leather.
Woo,
Uh
Jesus.
I was almost positive he was leaving church and going to a dominatrix convention.
He was in
Um
his study. That's what the conviction was, right in that pastor study. Amen.
yeah,
Mhm. It's
he's
okay.
something
Just
else.
own your shit.
But
That's all.
listen, saints, if you have money to give, don't give it to Clip Your Dollar. I'm here for you. And this ministry is going
That's
going all
funny.
over the entire solar system.
Where
Don't just
y'all
give it.
going? What planet y'all
Uh,
believe in first? What's on the tour first?
we're first going to the moon. I'm gonna baptize somebody on the
Yes!
moon.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
I love
I
it.
cannot do it
After
right
the
now.
moon,
I love it.
It's too much.
after the
I
moon,
just
we're
want to say
going
this. If
we're
you
going
can,
back to Pluto to claim it for the glory of God.
My God.
Hey, hey.
Jesus.
Glory.
I
Oh,
just
hey,
want to say that I would love it if the members of World Changers, what is it? Is it World Changers
Girl, they
International
change
Church?
their name every week. Hell, we don't know.
Whatever it is, I wish y'all would buy y'all pastor a jet so I don't have to
Please,
hear
laugh.
about it in
listen,
mainstream news.
this
Because
is
you know what,
this is the thing,
me,
though, Kia.
uh
This is what gets me. World changers, right?
huh.
Drink
How
and
can
make
you
you
be a
high.
world changer and the area in which your church is in has not changed?
Come on. Come on, preacher. Come on, preacher, and talk about it. You got my glasses messing up. Come on.
You can't be a world changer if you can't be a community changer, right?
Hey now.
Preach the
Hey
Oh,
word.
now.
wow.
I believe
Okay.
that's
Okay.
lesson 13. That's lesson 13. You
It's,
can't be a world changer if you can't be a community changer.
that's like week
Mm,
3 of Sunday school. You look,
mm.
we skipping it.
That's
And that's
that's
exactly
just
what
me.
he meant when he said a sermon don't take long. That's a
And,
word.
Yes.
and he done. And then first ladies, undergarments by now.
Yep. See what I'm saying?
See,
They
that's the
touching
kind
each
of
other in the car by now. I'm with
that's
it.
that's the kind of trust you need.
Oh goodness! But so we're ending the show. We're on junk suggestions, right?
Yes. What do you have
Well,
for us?
um,
I'm so
so
tempted.
this week, really trying week for me. Um, You know,
It's
I'm
been
now an
hard.
educator. I teach high school, and we lost a
Welcome,
student this week.
welcome. We're all
See, you
educators.
made
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
We're all teachers.
Hey, we are.
I'm gonna stop being on CP time. Well, I'm on nigga time. I'm not even on CP
It's
time. I'm
okay.
just
It's in
on.
our nature. Chronos was not our god.
But no, I lost a student this week, so it's been a trying week
I'm sorry to hear
at
that.
school,
I
but
lost a
Yeah.
student, and it hit me very hard.
appreciate. So, but only drunk suggestion I have, man, is really cherish those around you. You never know when it's someone's last time, when it's your last time. So just cherish those around you. To anybody, to any of the Ashies that may be listening,
Yes, Ashley. Where is your
shea butter
shirt?
is
You got
$5.
Ashley's suggestion?
Um, Shea butter is $5, and we want you to be better for yourself. Not even for me. I just want you to be better for you.
Yes.
And if you send your tithes to the Get Money Missionary Baptist Church, we will make sure that you are no longer the ashy Negro you once were
If
on Twitter.
anybody wants to send their
We
time,
will send you back a prayer cloth that has been dipped in coconut oil.
I'm still accepting donations at
That was
jennifer.marie.fletcher
so rude.
because I still got to pay my attorney. So
Yeah,
if
no,
anybody chooses to partake in donationing right now, I still have an attorney to pay.
yeah, no, you need it. You need it much more
Legal
than I do.
shield.
Kia as my co-pastor,
Yes,
we
I'm the
we gonna make
associate
it.
pastor. You
Look,
get money.
Uh,
I have given my attorney damn near $10,000, and
It's not worth it.
no, it actually is, because what it is saying is that I can take my kid wherever the fuck I want to go, and I need that. So if you want to donate, if you want a Creflo Dollar in it, bitch, Creflo Dollar to me. Jennifer.marie.fletcher@gmail.com on the PayPal. I will take all of your donations. I am okay with that.
We're gonna send some cupcake money your way. I read
No,
the same yesterday.
I will take your cupcakes because I'm a greedy bitch.
Hey, tweet your link, Jennifer, so I can retweet it.
Wait, what am I tweeting, y'all?
Didn't you say you had a blog?
I do. It's jkancinda.com. And it was supposed
You haven't
to
read it?
be.
I haven't. I heard about it last week on the show, so I just kind of got hearsay.
It was supposed to be about the blog. Initially, was supposed to be about me and my baby's adventures as we were going through Abu Dhabi, and like as our adventures. And I had to use that same blog to ask for money to pay for a $10,000 attorney to deal with my fuck ass husband. So yeah, shit happens.
Yeah,
Niggas gotta deal with shit.
I found it because I've been in real strong like with you for the last few weeks here, and so I just go on your Twitter page and find out what's happening.
Is that what happened?
So that's how I found it.
Aww.
That's why I joined this call, Kia. Let's not be confused. I was like, I hope they still
wait,
on.
don't you got a first lady? Or is she cool with it? Blue?
Ooh.
That's y'all.
I don't have a first lady yet. I don't. Not yet.
Oh, okay,
Not
okay.
yet.
Well, shit. He
We're
ain't
moving
even know. Maybe we can make a connection.
Ricky, I need for you and Rose to make up over Beyonce or whatever it is.
Whoa, Rick, you don't like Beyonce?
I don't know what I did.
Oh, wait a
What
minute.
did you say about me?
Ricky don't like the queen?
Look.
Look, we'll cut you over Queen Bee.
Bye, Ricky.
Poke the high.
Listen.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Poke the high.
Listen.
Bye, Ricky.
At the
Bye,
Get Money
Dream. And
at the
bye,
Get
my
Money
ex-wife.
at the Get Money Missionary Baptist Church, we pray to Jesus. I don't know what I could have said.
Oh, okay. Well, then you right on my path. Amen.
All right, because
That's
Rose,
misinformation because I was ready to drag you.
I have not one bad word, Beyonce.
So, Rose, we are petitioning that you unblock Ricky because we don't know what he did.
What did Ricky do? Hashtag what did
Hashtag what did
it's my problem. Look, we gonna all
No.
pray to Holly Jr. Everybody say Holly Jr. Amen.
Who is
My
Holly
baby.
Jr.?
Wait a minute.
So my baby went to church. My baby went to a Kojic church with my godparents, and she came home and she said, "Mommy, who is Holly Jr.?"
Oh, hallelujah.
Yes. I said, "Baby, what do you say?" She was like, "Who is Holly Jr.?" I was
That's
like, "Holly
so
Jr."
funny.
She was like, they kept singing Holly Jr.
Holly Jr.
Holly Jr. I said, "Baby, that is hallelujah." Jesus Christ. I've done
I completely
She
understand.
thought that hallelujah
How
was
old is your
Holly
daughter?
Jr. She was probably 5 at the time. But
Right.
right now, we say
I go to
Holly
church with
Jr.
folks who still think that's. I go to church with grown folks who still think that, so it's okay.
My baby swore up and down. She was like, "It's Holly Jr." No, it's not Holly Jr. It is hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I will be saying that Sunday.
My drink recommendation: Kid Noble's shirt.
Oh, I ordered
Reggie's
mine.
shirt. Yes.
Yay!
I think you can still order.
my shirt.
I got mine. Because, I was going to put Reggie on blast for being one of these Twitter hustlers. Stuff that
He's
you
a
never
Twitter
get.
hustler.
But I got my shirt. So,
He
we're
is a Twitter
good.
hustler.
Thank you for joining us tonight. You guys have a good night, and we will see you next week, maybe the week after. Who knows? We'll be back, though. Bye.
Always.